under, spike. Scott, going to be a great game. You know, everybody's ready. We've talked to coaches. We've talked to players. We've talked to everybody out there. And I think everybody's ready to go.
Yeah, quickly, a little shout out to Norm Zider and the boys at Swamp Welding. Great company generationally, and just pleased that you're sponsoring our pregame. What a beautiful night for football to open it up. You kind of expected maybe some bigger, hotter temperatures tonight, but we're going to be in the low 70s, a nice light breeze. Tinora with a natural turf field, and typical where the cleats disappear in the grass. But new head coach Eric Becker takes over for a long-standing coach that we've been here for 25-plus years, and Kenny Krause, and a Tinora Ram football program that knows how to win football games, especially at home. Coach Eric Becker, in his first year, anxious to get started with a little bit different-looking football team tonight. And as we get into our interviews with Coach Becker and Coach Casey Moeller, you're going to learn that the Tinora head coach is very interested to, quote-unquote, innovate on offense. And that is code word for shotgun, spread, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. So Tinora typically likes to get physical and beat people up, but this smaller roster, 37 guys, they've got a couple of skilled guys returning from last season, and their quarterback, Dominic Graciano, you're going to like him tonight. He is slippery, can throw the ball on the run. So Liberty Center has their hands full. It's a little bit different Tinora Ram football team, but anxious to get into the interviews here in the pregame.
All right, let's go to our interview first with Coach Casey Moeller, and we sat down with him yesterday, and he talked about this Tinora Rams team.
Greetings and salutations from LC Tiger Sports Live. Week 1 with Casey Moeller. We'll do a weekly spot with Coach Moeller in preparation per game. And Coach Moeller, kind of a condensed preseason or two.
It's usually a ready or not. Here it comes. So we're as ready as we're going to be. You know, we get one day of preparation left, and people ask me a lot if we're ready, and I say no. We still need 2 more days, and we'll take whatever days we can get to get ready. But it's here, and this is what we're here for.
We talked about the calendar in one of our breakdowns earlier, and I'm just curious as a fan.
I think both coaches, you know, are expecting some things out of key players. I think Casey talked about the line of scrimmage. Obviously, I'm an old school guy. You win the line of scrimmage, you win the game. Coach Becker talked about having to get the most out of his skill players. And let's go to his interview here. We'll get him on the wire here, and I think I got him going. So,
Coach Eric Becker, first-year head coach, Tinora Rams football. And, Coach, we appreciate you joining us. You were a heck of a player. Played, I think you graduated in '98, and you've been a part of these really solid, excellent culture football teams out of Tinora for many, many years. And kind of excited for you to take this program over. Maybe spend a minute or so talking about your head coaching position, how it's been, and how it's been a head coach in this really good program that Kenny had for so many years. And, of course, the coach that you played for, he started the whole thing. So talk a little bit about how things are going for you and how much you've enjoyed this role.
It is an honor and a privilege to get the opportunity to lead this program in this school. Everybody's goal when they get into coaching is, I want to be a head coach one day. I want to be a head coach. And, through some circumstances, the opportunity presented itself, and we just kind of pounced on it, and really grateful for that. That being said, Coach kind of set the standard for what you wanted the program to be. He put a lot of time and effort into building this thing, and we want to keep that tradition alive. Now, as you guys know, each coach comes in and puts their own stamp on the program, puts their own little wrinkle in. The kids spent a lot of the off season. We gave them a lot of the paperwork and terminology real early, so that way when we got out to the summer, they kind of knew just by reading through stuff what we wanted to do, and they really picked up on it and really grasped the concepts and hit the ground running this summer. We're really excited to have this opportunity. It's pretty special.
Getting a chance to watch your huddle film a little bit against Elmwood and Lake, it does feel like these guys, your kids, this program is bought in to carrying on some of that real hardcore football culture and then some of the things you're trying to get accomplished. And I want to talk about a couple of those things because I felt it was pretty interesting. Typically, when I'm watching film, and I was at Liberty for 22 years as an assistant, you turn on the film and Kenny showed you about the same thing. Big, heavy run, unbalanced. Let's get after people physically. And I know that's probably what you want to do too, but yet this offense looks innovative. I like your quarterback and all your skilled guys. You did some really nice things in your scrimmages. Talk about the evolution of what Kenny liked to do and then what you're liking to do.
Coach's offense won a lot of games.
It did.
And it was all based on the power run, and you take the shots when you had them. Now, that also revolved around having a solid 230, 225-pound kids across the line to where you could bully people.
Right.
We knew coming into this year that we were not going to have that offensive line. We're probably sitting around 200 pounds across average right now. They're a little bit smaller than what we've had in the past, and we knew that it was going to be, especially the first 3 weeks, it was going to be hard to line up against people and just run the ball at them. So we kind of we spent a lot of, the assistant coaches and we spent a lot of time looking at the offenses that have beat the really good teams from the area, not just us. We looked at South Range. We looked at Elmwood. We looked at Columbus Grove. We looked at the MAC schools and kind of seen what they did, what gave us problems, what gave other teams in this area problems when it got deep late in the playoffs. And we kind of morphed. We kind of took a little bit from each team, like, this will work for us. This will work for us. This won't work. And that's kind of where we developed the offense around, and just take the best pieces of it and just really try and hammer it home. This is what we're going to be. Now, that being said, we still want to run the ball. We still have those hard-nosed physical kids who love to hit. It's kind of Northwest Ohio it's what you want around here. You want those kids who are just going to line up and run through a brick wall for you.
Right.
We got several of those kids.
Well, watching some of the film and seeing some of the innovations on offense, I think you've done a heck of a job in a year going out and trying to put together and create, an offensive and defensive identity. It looks great on film. I had Casey in this morning. We were talking about how to prepare for Tinora, and we're like, man, this is a departure. Yet you still have a lot of those tough, hard-nosed kids that want to contact and want to bully you in the run game. But yet you've got some offensive versatility. Maybe if you can talk about your skilled group. That's something that really popped for me. I like your running backs. I certainly like your quarterback. I like your receivers. I think that group is a strength for you. Talk more about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was a big part of why we kind of decided to open it up a little bit, is the fact of our seniors are very athletic. Braden Rostai is one of our linebackers. He's 6'3", almost 200 pounds. And this kid just loves to hit. And we're like, what can we best use him for on offense? He really wants to get in on the offense. What can we use him at? We've got Caden Radzik, Carter Gilliam, our returning safeties. They're also going to play receiver for us. They're tough-nosed kids. They like to get the dirty yards. They're sure-handed. We have a newcomer back out to the team in Owen Ackerman. He's a state high jump champ, who is another 6'3", almost 6'4" kid who can jump out of the gym. So we're like, we have these kids. We got to be able to find a way to get them the ball. Joey Geisinger and Grady Gusweiler are the running backs. Everybody probably knows who those two are.
Yep, no doubt.
They are just super physical kids. You look at them, I don't think either one of them stands 6 foot tall and maybe 180 pounds. And they just love contact. They are the kids on this team that could play football in any generation of the game. You could have put them back in the early days with leather helmets and they would have succeeded. And then you move it to today, and they're just those kids who will do anything for you, and the leaders of this program. Dom, at quarterback, he is a really smart kid. He's kind of soft-spoken when he's not in the huddle. When he gets in the huddle, the kids listen to him. He's really grasping the offense, and the more he can grasp, the more open we can go with this.
Well, it looks to me like they have taken to this, offensive philosophy, and I do think you guys have a nice blend for sure of skill, experience, and some physicality that, and sometimes these 2x2s and these 4 wide receiver sets and this, sometimes you get in these spreads on West Coast and you don't have that mentality, where you guys have always had that mentality of toughness and being hard-nosed, yet now you've innovated, Coach Becker, to the point where you can do some things on offense, and it starts with that quarterback and these players you've talked about, your tight end, your running backs, and your wide receivers, and these athletes. So it's been an impressive transformation. And with that being said, as we kind of conclude a little bit, I'm so pleased that you took the time to share a little bit about your club and in your first year. Talk maybe about getting through those 2 scrimmages in preparation for a Liberty Center team that's come off a 14-1 Final Four, but yet looks a lot different without the Zane Zeiders and without the Matt Orrs and some of those key players. When you look at Liberty, you watch the huddle, you look at scrimmage preparation, what are your thoughts about Liberty Center and how you want to get after us tomorrow night?
At the end of the day, Casey's going to do a very good job of having the kids prepared to play.
Right.
Even going back to the days when I played, you knew what Liberty wanted to come in and do. Liberty wanted to come in, control the clock with the run game, and just punish you for 4 quarters. That looks kind of like what the team is going to be again this year. You did lose a really good quarterback who kind of opened things up for you. But at the same point in time, you have looks to be a tremendous offensive line, and the run game is going to be huge for you guys again this year. And while we were breaking the film down, it's going to be a challenge for us up front. But I think we got a really good group of rotational kids, and it's all about just flying to the football. And Coach Muller's going to say the same thing to you guys as kids. 11 hats to the football. Pursue, pursue, pursue. And that's what makes this game so much fun to be part of, the play and the coach in. It is almost playoff atmosphere week one.
It is.
And it's just outstanding.
Coaching against Tinora myself as an assistant and seeing this rivalry and seeing the physicality and the kind of the old school back to the future nature of how this has always been. Of course, with your background and experience, you're an outstanding player, and you've seen a lot of these games, Coach. I'm sure it's going to be a great game at your place. Talking to your AD, he's excited about the gate. He's like, whoa, this is my first year. This is going to be great. So LC Tiger Sports Live wishes you great luck. I know you're going to be very successful. You're going to carry on that tradition. You might even move it forward a little bit, and we just wanted to reach out, get some commentary, wish you great luck tomorrow night, and thanks for all your time, Coach.
Thank you guys for having me.
Very good. Talk to you soon.
All right, that was Coach Eric Becker of the Tinora Rams. And I tell you, like you said, he knows this is I like the term. It's almost like playoff football, in week one. And, and you talk about non-conference schedules, and, Tenora's got the gauntlet, and they play in that GMC, and that's going to be a tough league for them. And, maybe this start out with Liberty is the way to go for them. So, hey, I'm going to try to cut back to the interview with Coach Casey Muller. You got to push all the buttons, Scott. I don't know. This computer stuff just finagles me.
No, you're
sometimes.
A rookie at it, Mark. You've never done it. It's your first night, so it's a tough thing. Opening night for you.
Yeah, let's try this again with Coach Casey Muller.
Greetings and salutations from LC Tiger Sports Live. Week one with Casey Moeller. We'll do a weekly spot with Coach Moeller in preparation per game. And Coach Moeller, kind of a condensed preseason or two-a-day season, couple scrimmages. We're at week one. Are you ready for week one?
Well, it's usually a ready or not. Here it comes. So we're as ready as we're going to be. We get one day of preparation left, and people ask me a lot if we're ready, and I say no, we still need 2 more days, and we'll take whatever days we can get ready. But it's here, and this is what we're here for. We
talked about the calendar in one of our breakdowns earlier, and I'm just curious as a fan, of course, of the program and former coach, assistant coach, do you think you've had enough time given this new kind of calendar, new dynamic?
Yeah, I think, as far as getting things that you need to have in before the first game, I think the extra summer days allowed that to happen. Had we not had those and we start this early, then we would have been pressing to get stuff in, and we wouldn't have as much in as what we do. So I do think the extra days were beneficial for that. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out once you get into an actual game. I think, right now you can say, yeah, we had enough time, but until you actually play and you're not out on the field holding hands with the players and telling them what to do, you don't really know.
Well, just being an old head, I always kind of felt we had 6 months to prepare and 94 two-a-days, and we didn't. But this new calendar, it does feel like you've managed it well, but the season comes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, and, even no matter when you start, it's like, okay, it's here already. We're in game week. So you really have to start to fine-tune things now, and the schedule changes once you get in season because your practice time is decreased a little bit. So you got to have all your basic stuff in now, and then you can kind of tweak and things like that as you go along.
Before we preview Tinora, which is going to be a very interesting game on the road, always has been for us, a great opener, talk briefly about your scrimmage schedule and how you reflect back on that. I know as fans and analysts, we look at a lot of good things that you did, good offensive, good defensive line, things you could count on, really good senior class, excellent running game. Certainly some question marks as the quarterback position evolves, the guys getting experience, the defensive backs you've had to replace. Talk a little bit about how you feel about your scrimmages and maybe those two positions in a broad sense.
Well, I think the scrimmages for us were great in a sense that we want to be challenged in those scrimmages, and we don't want to go up against teams that we can just roll. And Defiance was a playoff team last year. They won 7 games, and they had 8 starters back on offense and 7 on defense, so we knew they were going to give us a good game, and I think we held our own, and they made some plays which we expected, but that's exactly what we want to see is how do we play against a veteran team when maybe we're not as experienced in some of the position that they are, and I think that does nothing but help us. And then with Lipsick, it's the same thing. We always know offensively they're going to be very diverse. They're going to challenge us in the passing game, and that's what we need in the preseason. And we put our kids in very uncomfortable positions and ask them to do things that maybe during the season we're not going to ask them to do, but we need to see how they react and how they perform. And so, we gave up some big plays there, and hopefully we get those corrected. But it's a good thing that those happen in the scrimmage, and we'd rather have them happen there than in a game. We'll see if we've got them corrected and how we react to that.
As a fan and analyst, you sit up there and you're watching and you're just trying to figure out how are we going to replace such good players. At the same time, you guys aren't thinking about that. You're thinking about getting these kids ready, stressing them, and those kind of things. So your mode of operation in scrimmages isn't the same as a fan.
Right.
Fan wants to win everything and come away bragging about our team, but in fact, you want that to happen later in the season. You're preparing them for games. So talk a little bit about, as you just said, you're stressing players and doing things that you might not be doing to kind of stretch the limits of these players. And as you look back, do you feel like you're in a better place today than you were maybe a week ago?
Yeah, I mean, going into the scrimmage, at least from an offensive standpoint, I script out the first 10 plays. I don't care what the down and distance is. And even when we got into the down and distance portion, I had 10 plays we were going to run regardless of the down and distance because I want to see, can we execute these plays? How do we react, situationally? And then, from there, after that, we kind of, go with what maybe we feel like we can be successful with, the down and distance, field position, things like that. But early on, we're going to run the plays that I have written down because I want to see those on film and how our guys, execute those plays. And I know Coach Brian does the same thing on defense. He's very vanilla. We're going to run these 3 fronts. We're not going to throw the kitchen sink at the quarterback and things like that. Again, because we want to put our kids in situations where it's going to be really tough because in a game, we've got to be prepared for those situations. And now as we get into game week, we kind of evolve that and say, okay, here's where we're going to, implement pressure and look at some different fronts and some different personnel. And, we might call plays differently.
It's funny you say vanilla. I mean, obviously, again, fans and we all want to see one thing, and you guys want to see something completely different. And by the way, you don't really want to show a lot of your more exotic, sophisticated, complicated things. So there's always a disconnect in scrimmage season. Everybody wants to, how to see the scrimmage. And, well, these guys, the way they're doing it, they're not trying to win the scrimmage. They're trying to prepare for the season. That's the mentality, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we've been working on things offensively that we didn't do in the scrimmage. Defensively, we've been doing things that we didn't show in the scrimmage, and we're just kind of waiting to we play a game to unveil those, and eventually it all gets on film and people see it. But, we want to hold that a little bit closer to the vest early on and then go and show everything we do.
I don't think Rex Lindgren won 3 scrimmages in his 30-plus years coaching, and I don't think he really cared much. So
no, as a coach, you want to see your guys go out and compete hard, and know what they're doing, and then hopefully you get, some of the mistakes corrected.
Let's talk Tinora. This has been a great opening week game for us for a very long time. You've participated in these as a player and coach. They've had a really good program. You're not opening with an easy W. This isn't the SEC where they're scheduling Division I, AA schools. We went after some really nice teams a long time ago, and Tinora's been a good traditional rival. Change in coaches. Kenny Krause was there for a long time, had a tough-minded team, liked to run the football, control the clock, won a lot of GMCs, had some good playoff runs. New coach Eric Becker. What do you see Tinora broadly, and explain to our fans, maybe explain the broad differences between what you're used to seeing from Kenny and what you're going to see from Eric generically?
Well, offensively under Kenny for 25 years or however long he was there, they were under center 90% of the time, 2 backs in the backfield, and they were gonna pound you between the tackles, do some play action passing, control the line of scrimmage, try to shorten the game. And now what you're going to see is they're going to be in shotgun or a pistol, They're going to have 3-4 wideouts, and they're really going to try to get the ball to their playmakers out in space a little bit more. So they're very different formationally on offense, but at the same time, they still want to run the ball. They just may do it a little bit differently, but they are going to throw a little bit more. So it's a little bit of a change, and I think they believe that this kind of fits their personnel. They've got maybe some smaller, quicker guys that they want to get the ball to. So we have to kind of adapt how we defend them a little bit. Defensively, they are changing things up a little bit. They were a traditional 5-2 defense, played a lot of man-to-man. And what you'd see from them then when they would play a spread team is they would have a package that was more of a 4-man front, put an extra linebacker DB that can cover. Now they've kind of gone to that as their base defense. And probably because most of the teams they play are spread, and they're putting in a base defense and then not running it very much from week to week, so they figured we might as well just make this our base defense, and if we need to adjust, we can. So it's going to be a challenge for us because we're not sure how they'll defend us with this new defense they're in. It's kind of a 4-3, 4-2-5. We anticipate some similarities. I think their defensive ends are going to be wide, and they're going to come in on an angle pretty hard. They're going to play probably a lot of man-to-man with some underneath help. But the one thing that sticks out on film that's kind of always been the same is they run to the football well. They're very aggressive, and that's not going to change. Their mentality isn't changing. Just kind of how they line up might be a little bit different. So we're going to have to get on guys, get a hat on a hat, and maintain our blocks if we want to be able to score some points.
When this thing first started, you had old school Kenny, his dad Hobie was old school, and Rex banging at it. You come in after Rex, as you always say, different formationally, but kind of the same plays, but spread out a little bit. Kenny stayed the same. Now Eric, Coach Becker, comes in, wants to do some different things like you kind of did, but this team for you feels more traditional in the way you're going to approach the season. I'm sure you'll still do things creatively. So the evolution of the programs, it still makes for a great game, and you still have to block and tackle and find points. So very interesting matchup in week one. Talk about Tenora's quarterback. I think that's really where this team has evolved the most for Tinora. I think Dominic Graziani is dynamic, and he can run. It's hard to get to the ground. He intermediate passer, very effective. Talk a little bit about what you see in their quarterback play that maybe you have to think through more defensively.
Well, he's definitely a dual threat. He's got a very strong arm, can get the ball down the field. But it's what he does with his legs that concerns you, because even on those throws, he really extends time. He's elusive and strong, so he's tough to bring down. He's hard to get to. But if we just let him run around and do his thing, we're gonna struggle. So we have to be very conscious of not letting him out of the pocket. And when he does get out of the pocket, we got to go get him. And we got to be careful about who we're sending to go get him, because if we have DBs coming up and things like that, he's going to throw the ball down the field. So our guys up front have got to, kind of constrict space, keep him in the pocket as best we can. And then there's sometimes we're going to flush him on purpose so we can get a linebacker running at him maybe, and things like that. But he's going to be a handful, and he's going to get the ball to playmakers. And that's one of the evolutions of their offense, is being a little bit more diverse and getting those athletes out in space.
We talked about their roster size and the number of seniors they graduated. Not a big team, not a ton of seniors, but certainly in key spots on the skill side. I mean, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, which really kind of fuels a little bit more creative thought process for Coach Becker on the offensive side. When you're dealing with hungry seniors that haven't beaten Liberty a lot with a creative offense, where are your concerns there in terms of their running back play, tight end, and wide receiver play?
Well, I think, their best skill guy is Grady Gusweiler. He's been a starter for them for 4 years. He's tough, he's aggressive, he's hard-nosed, and he's athletic. So when he gets the ball in space, he can break tackles, he can make guys miss. So we have to know where he's at. They've got another running back that runs extremely hard. And again, one of the things that's going to be a challenge is they're going to get them the ball in space because Tinora isn't going to be super big up front. So I think if they just say, well, we're going to go nose to nose and push Liberty around, they probably don't think they can do that. And so that's why they're going to spread things out, get the ball out on the perimeter as quickly as possible so they don't have to deal with 265-pound Landon Bockelman, 235-pound, Seth Navarre. They're going to try to negate that by getting the ball wide and making those guys run.
Yeah, I certainly like our matchup up front. I like the way I believe we can have success moving guys up front and doing what we want to do in offense. So maybe we always say don't give up a lot, which you never do, but you've got to be somewhat comfortable with the front seven and running game against their run defense a little bit. I would say that's a place you have some comfort this week.
Well, if it was just a matchup in a phone booth, I like our chances. What's the difficult part of the challenge is they're going to move guys, they're going to blitz, be aggressive, kind of change their front a little bit.
Take some chances.
And so when you've been hammering and hitting pads and stuff like that, those don't move very much. They're going to run around and move in the speed at which they do it is going to be a lot faster than probably what we see in practice. So we're going to have to adapt and process things really quickly in order to get ahead on people because they're going to try to free somebody up, get a +1 at the point of attack where they have more defenders than we have blockers. When we pull guards, are they going to blitz and run through and try to chase from behind? So those are all things we got to kind of figure out early on, and hopefully we can contend with.
Yeah, the idea for us does look like that. Again, the kind of team that we want to be this season versus maybe the kind of team we've been under Zane Zeider, we are going to run the football. We are going to depend on our strength, which is like an offensive defensive line. At the same time, I think we can do some things on offense people haven't seen. Let's talk a little bit about the evolution of your offensive mindset. Obviously, you're replacing an extremely dynamic quarterback in Zane Zeider, really productive. You've replaced a running back in Matt Orr who was a very disciplined, high-quality character, really good fullback. Talk about your offense today at game one, quarterback, running backs, your wing back, how that's evolved and where your head's at today with those guys.
Well, I think with what we have, I feel very comfortable getting the ball to 3 running backs and 1 or 2 wide receivers, and then using our tight ends as when they get forgotten, we're going to get the ball to them. So we'll spread the ball out to a lot of playmakers. We may have to be creative with getting them the ball and keeping track of how many touches they have. But we want to be diverse. That doesn't mean we're going to be 50-50 run pass. It just means who are we getting the ball to, making sure everybody gets touches as best we can. But also we have to factor in what are they giving us? Who are they allowing us to get the ball to? So that can kind of be a feeling out process offensively. But again, as good as they've been on defense, we don't go into this game expecting to put 40 points on the board. We think it's going to be kind of a scratch and claw your way to get some points and play really good defense to hold on.
Little Al Davis, Oakland Raiders, just win baby tonight?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, at the end of the day, you've got yourself a big-time front-loaded schedule. Your league guys that are predicted to be competitive, they're all early. As we kind of wrap up this preview, obviously our focus is Tinora. But my guess is you've got a heavy load in front of you. It starts with a pretty good Tinora team tonight. When you head into this early part of the schedule and you're playing a playoff team and a traditional rival, where is your mindset at in terms of trying to make sure things are in place for this early part of the schedule? Because I got to believe there are no breaks for you, and you guys have really got to be on your toes early and get prepped and get ready to go.
Yeah, there's no off week, early in the season for sure. We've got to be ready to go week 1, and then hopefully we can build off of what we do week 1 to get us into week 2, because week 2 is not going to be any easier, and week 3 is not going to be any easier. So we kind of hope that we've got what we need for week 1, and then we can build each and every week. But you got to take it one game at a time, because how we prep for Tinora is going to be different than how we prep for Napoleon and then Otsego and so on. So we got to focus on this game, and then probably Saturday afternoon we'll move on.
On the road, big-time game, opener of the season, Coach. Extremely exciting time for coaches and players and fans. We wish you great luck. This is going to be something we can take a lot away from week 1. So we wish you luck and hopefully get a W on the road.
Thanks. We'll need a little luck to help us out, but we're excited.
Excellent.
All right, we're back here live from Justin Kressel Stadium, the home of the Tinora Rams. The teams are coming to midfield to do the coin toss, so we'll keep track of that. And Mr. Spike Whitman has joined us now, so we're going to let you, Spike, jump in here, and let's finish up this Swanton Welding pregame show.
All right, good evening, football fans. Tonight, as you know, the captain just introduced the teams. Liberty Center traveling down Banner School Road off of 24 and here into Ramland to take on the Tinora Rams. Just briefly about last year, because that was then and this is now, but Liberty Center's had 2 outstanding years, several playoff wins, but a graduating class every year, Scott. You have to move into the future, and Liberty Center last year was able to play a lot of kids, a lot of people saw a lot of action. So where does that put us when it comes to this year's team?
That's a good question, Spike. I mean, Liberty Center's success in the last 2 or 3 years has been incredible. The number of wins Casey and this group has put up, this coaching staff. We have a 68-man roster here in 2023. That might be the largest in school history.
Yeah.
I think in some of those games last year, to your point, Spike, we had a lot of reps for a lot of young guys. And I start thinking about guys that got a lot of playing time that are going to be high-impact players. A Waylon Rentz, for example. There's a guy that's going to be a big-time player for us. You've got other guys on the offensive line. Noah Jensen returns from an injury last year. I think that is serious. Clayton Seal won the starting center job, but got reps, important reps last season as well. And you could say this about a lot of different guys, but Xander Zeiter, last week's KK Collision player of the scrimmage, has been phenomenal, and he was a part-time rotational player. So I think the depth of the roster and the snaps they got in these last 2 years are really going to pay off this year.
Yeah, now we go back. Coach Moeller in his 6-year tenure as head coach, averaging a 10-2 record. So that's 2 playoff games a season. Even if you don't make the playoffs, factor that in. He's had a great track record. And Liberty Center versus Tinora has been 22-6 in their 28-year history. But the Rams are always a formidable team, and now they've changed coaches. I hear they've changed some offensive directions. What do you look for, Scott?
Well, tonight, I mean, we had a good interview with Coach Eric Becker. Our fans got a chance to hear that a little bit ago. He's a successful player. He was an All-Ohio player. Under the prior regime. Mike Anderson got the ball rolling with Tinora in terms of building that early tradition, and Coach Anderson was very good here. Kenny Krause takes over, and guys like Eric Becker then become, assistant coaches. And Eric saw a lot of what Kenny did. I think Kenny was 181 and 84 or something.
Yeah.
So plus 100 on the win-loss column, meaning the culture here is really strong. Tinora football has been very good for a very long time, yet Liberty Center has had great success in this rivalry. I think Tinora got us back-to-back years in 14 and 15. Other than that, Liberty with a win tonight, I think, goes 7 straight. But I think Casey likes the idea of getting mixed up with a good program early in the season to get some pressure on us, to prepare us for a tough, rugged NWOAL. And I think Tinora, if you look at them on film as I did, I studied them a lot this week, they're typically under Kenny Krause, who's no longer the coach, power run, overload, I formation, off tackle, control the clock. Now they're a spread team. They are going to be very formidable with this quarterback, Dominic Graziani. He is slippery, he's athletic, and they are loaded with senior skilled guys, Spike, that know what they want to get accomplished and have had a lot of success so far in their career.
Now, one thing about Tinora, if they have a weak spot, it may be on their offensive and defensive line. Now, I'm not going to say weak by any means, but if that's their tender spot, that may be it, which translates into, for Liberty, that's going to be one of their strengths, is the offensive and defensive line and the entire defense, I think. I know last 2 years have been great, but Coach Moeller knows that with this team, we have to every season reestablish their own identity. And I think that is so key. But with this team and with this coaching staff, very capable of doing that. They have proven themselves year after year after year, and they bring it to the table. I've been to some practices. They lay it on the line. They tell it like it is, fellas. Hey, you either work here, you learn it now, or we're SOL. I mean, it is down, dirty time. It is no screwing around. Now, don't get me wrong. They'll laugh and joke and yuck it up and give some verbal jabs to the players and right back at the coaches. It's a great atmosphere. But it is a very dedicated atmosphere. It is a very pointed direction this Tiger team will go.
I know that we're a little biased. We are LC Tiger Sports Live, and we're going to say a lot of good things about Liberty Center. But to me, maybe the best thing about Liberty Center has been the continuity in coaching from Rex Lindgren to Casey Moeller. He has outstanding coaches. I would argue that this coaching staff from top to bottom is as good as anybody in the state of Ohio. Deep playoff runs, in championship, caliber program development every year. They're in the championship chase every year. You got guys like Paul Amstutz, who played here for Rex Lindgren, was an outstanding guard. He's a special teams coach. He runs the guards and centers. Matt Bryan, a phenomenal defensive coordinator, basically an acolyte of Casey Moeller, who was a very good defensive coordinator. Ryan Miller helps us on our perimeter players, our tight ends and wide receivers. Chris Riggi is a quarterbacks coach who's been here forever. Continuity. Todd Spangler, a phenomenal player in those 99 and 2000 years.
Yes.
Eric Weimer, arguably one of the top 10 players of the history of the program, I would argue, and he's joined by Brian Hefflinger, another top 15, 20 player, maybe 10 in the history of the program. And then Brad Howe helps us a lot, in practice and has a lot of different assignments. But when I read those names, that's a lot of wins. That's a lot of work. They put in a lot of time, and I think you hit the nail on the head. This staff's working 11 months a year to prepare for this game, and I think that's what gives Liberty. You can talk about offensive line and Lando Bachman and all these different things, but I think this coaching staff does a phenomenal job and invests a lot of time in this program, and that's why they get a lot of wins.
Well, you mentioned Howie. He's down there with the JVs and
Freshmen
stuff.
and JVs, yep.
Yeah.
Him and Todd Spangler, yep.
Right, and so the development there, we see the transition into guys like a Xander Zeider. Got action before, now he's moved up. And a lot of these young guys. At wide receiver, Aiden Talent, he's almost a microcosm, if that's the right word, of last year's wideout. His name
Chappa.
is who?
Chappa.
Yeah, Riley Chappa.
Riley Chappa.
Yeah. This guy's got the same build. He's wiry, he's tough, he's fast, and he's strong for his body size. Good hands. He's going to make a good. Wideout for Liberty.
And Jackson Bartels along that same line. He's going to give us some assistance at wide receiver, and then you get, a returning senior, one of the triplets, Landon Cruz. So Liberty Center lost players last year, to your point, that were high impact, high quality, high production players. They replaced them with really good athletes that have had opportunities and reps and work and great coaching. So I feel like, we're going to miss Riley Chappa. Yeah, we're going to miss Zacharias. We miss those players. They were staples for us. We've got a deep, 68-man roster, very competitive for spots, and the guys that you mentioned, I expect to play a very important role tonight.
Well, just for example, you mentioned Clayton Seal. He won the job at center, and this kid he's just a follower. He buys into the program, and he's an excellent snapper when the quarterback's in shotgun. He is good. He is solid every time. I don't want to jinx him, but every time the snap is there, he's a solid body built, and with our offensive line, he's a good addition. And of course, you may see Zeider line up in there at times, or have him line up as depth on the offensive line.
Liberty last year, we talked a lot about Stephen Brogan. He'll play guard tonight next to Clayton Seal. He is a fantastic player. And you've got guys that up and down that offensive line that I think has really worked hard. Brady Gieseke gets the start tonight at tackle. And, of course, then you've got two standard all-league players, and maybe the best player in the league in Landon Bachelman, and Seth Navarre will be at guard. That offensive line, yes, we're missing Owen Box. I understand he was a phenomenal player playing at Findlay. But to your point, Spike, you know, with Brogan and Giesge and Clayton Seal stepping in, Nick Miller and the offensive, the staff have really developed these guys offensively. They've been ready, they've been hungry, and this is their opportunity to really shine.
Yeah, you go through here. Let's see. Should we get the starting lineups yet?
Yeah, if you'd like to introduce the starting lineups, I think we got a little timer before the national anthem. Yep.
Okay. On offense tonight, number 71, Clayton Seal. Clayton, let's see here. He is a 220-pound junior. Boy, you don't think he's that heavy, but that kid is solid.
Thick and tough.
All right. Out at one guard, number 70, Seth Navarre, 230-pound senior. At the other guard, Steve Brogan. There's another name that's come up through the ranks. Steve, number 63, goes 200 pounds. So there's a guy that's going to be a quicker type of guard. Now, I say 200 pounds, but the kid's good. And, of course, at one tackle, we've got Landon Bachelman, number 75. Landon goes 265 pounds. At the other tackle, Brady Giesecke. Giesecke, number 55. The Goose. 240-pound tackle, and that man is a tree trunk.
Absolutely.
It's just log. There is no build there. It is log. It is tough. Good-natured, quiet kid, but boy, he packs a punch. Tight end this year will be Brooks Bainfelt. Brooks wears number 20 and goes 185 pounds. Brooks is another hard-bodied. He is tough, raw-built. He is going to be a football player on both sides of the ball.
And missed last year due to a knee injury, and hungry as all get out to make an impact in this football team.
Yes. Landon Cruz, number 8, one of the wide receivers, one of the Cruz triplets, and Aiden Talent, number 9. Aiden goes 150 pounds, just about like Riley Chapa, and he's a senior. Those guys will normally be messenger players bringing in plays. But Liberty will run their share of multiple wide receivers, and, of course, then you'll see both of them on the field. Okay. Colton Chambers, number 24, the wingback, a senior. Grady Miller, the quarterback, number 1, a junior. And then, of course, the other two Cruz boys, Trent Cruz, number 5, and Colton Cruz, number 2, in the backfield. Waylon Rentz will see a lot of action also. Now we'll pause for the playing. Oh, no, this is
a little Tinora pregame jazzerry. We can continue with our starters, but we will break when the national anthem hits.
Okay, let's see here. On defense. Defensive tackle. We have Landon Bachelman, number 75. Seth Navarre, number 70 at Landon Bachman's actually going to be a nose guard, nose tackle. And then on the outside, we have Seth Navarre on the right, and number 70. And Xander Zeider, who is, as a junior, has moved into a starting spot as the other outside tackle.
Spike, if I may briefly, I think might see tonight some rotation in those starters tonight. You might see Landon Bachelman and Seth Navarre get over the center. They're going to snap everything, in shotgun. And I think we'd like to put a little terror in the center's heart tonight, and that could be Landon Bachelman to start this game. So watch for some of those early matchups.
In fact, since Liberty runs a 3, it's like a 3-5 defense almost.
Right.
do you see stunting with the linebackers and those linemen and lining up in a different spot quite often? Will that help to confuse the offensive line?
I think at the end of the day, I think what Coach Nick Miller is looking for in Casey and I think what the staff is looking for on the defensive side of the ball is to create some matchups, some mismatches. And I think you're going to find one anywhere you put Bockelman. He presents a lot of problems, a lot of mismatches. So I think Matt Bryan and the staff tonight have got a few surprises. That Tinora now spends 80% of their snaps in a shotgun spike. So let's keep a close eye on where a Landon Bockelman and a Seth Navarre will line up. But the story of this defensive line early in the season has been Xander Zeiter. He was in a death battle with Noah Jensen and a whole host of players like Clayton Seal and Stephen Brogan, Brady Giesge, and he won that job. And I think he is a surprise player for us and a heavy impact, Xander Zeiter.
Yes. Oh, man, yeah. He's very agile, versatile, and mobile. But, again, that guy maybe isn't what Goose Giesecke is as far as a tree trunk, but that kid is solid, raw bone muscle.
Very good athlete, Xander Zeiter.
All right. To move on with the defense, we've got at the middle linebacker position, Waylon Rentz, number 19, maybe the most headstrong of all this Tiger unit here. This kid is nothing but double tough. I mean, he is a machine. Outside linebackers, Trent Cruz, number 5, and Colton Cruz, number 2. Starting running backs, starting linebackers. This may be one of the better linebacker core we have ever had here.
Agree 100%.
All right, now Liberty continues with that. They have snipers, Colton Chambers, number 24. And on the other sniper will be Brooks Bainfelt, number 20, and Max Weaver, another good little ball player coming up through the ranks, number 67. He'll see action at that sniper spot. He also will punt. And then for the cornerbacks, Talent, Aiden Talent, number 9, one cornerback. The other cornerback, let's see here.
Number 7, I think, at Cam Colley. Is that correct? Is that who you got starting there?
Yeah, Colley.
Yeah, number 7, Cam Colley.
Yeah.
And I think your safety is number 8, Landon Cruz, first-team All-League player, led the area in interceptions. So, you know, we've got 2 fairly unproven corners in Aiden Talent and Cam Colley. You're going to see a lot of rotations in there tonight. You might see some additional support from guys like Jackson Bartels and number 15, Noah Hammontree. So there's depth and athleticism, Spike, anchored by Landon Cruz, who was a phenomenal middle-of-the-field player. But you might see Colton Chambers get to a corner, and you might see a little bit of Landon Cruz get to a corner as well to give their quarterback, Dominic Graziani, a little bit different look. Much more experienced players with those guys.
All right, that is, once again, we want to thank Swanton Welding for sponsoring the pregame show. We're getting ready here to partake in the national anthem, and then we'll be back after this for the kickoff.
Please stand if you are able. Direct your attention to the west end zone for the playing of our national anthem.
Hey, while we got a break in the action, let's thank our sponsors because, ladies and gentlemen, without these people, these broadcasts simply cannot happen. KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, STN Design, Affinity IT Group, 3Chord, Davis Farms, Swanton Welding, Pam and Dick Leatherman, Pisanello's Pizza, and the Gerald Grain Center. Again, thank you guys very much for your support. And again, without these people, the broadcasts simply do not happen. All right, we're back here getting ready for kickoff, about 3 minutes too. And if you're watching, we do have a scoreboard camera, but with the sun on it right now, it's kind of low vision. As soon as the sun decides to settle a little bit, it'll come into play. We'll try to keep you on the scoreboard as play begins here. I'm nervous. This is like
opening night, man.
I'm new to this.
Yeah, you're such a rookie, Mark. I tell you what, with Spike here, he's only been doing this for 25 years. You've been doing it for 25 years. Combined experience here at LC Tiger Sports Live of, I think, 52 years. This is my second.
Three weeks.
All right. Spike Whitman, beautiful weather tonight. Look at this turf, an all-natural turf here. You've been to Tinora many times in your career. This is as good as it gets tonight with a nice breeze, 70 degrees, perfect weather for tonight's football game.
We're out here, first game of the season, and the weather's better tonight. Little brisk wind, but this is good stuff. And Liberty Center dressed in all white, and the Tinora Rams dressed in all green. The white uniforms, pretty good. You can see the numbers a little better, and
well, heck of a lot better than those gray numbers in the scrimmage season. You and I had to tighten down on the readers.
Yeah.
to get that done.
The gray jerseys are done, guys.
Put them away, man.
They put them away.
Couldn't see a thing on those things, but they look nice on the field. But man, oh man, for the press and for radio TV people, it was impossible to read those uniforms.
Hey, number 50 is not on our program now. Is that Xander Zeider is 50?
Max Walker is number 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Max Walker is number 50, and he's going to be doing our punting tonight. He's our backup kicker. Ian Rosebrook tonight, number 84, is back in action. And I don't know, Spike. I think the preponderance of speculators and guys that, prognosticators, if you will, think Liberty kind of rolls in this one, but I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm in that court. I think Liberty Center's got a battle on their hands against a team that's going to look a lot different than what they're used to.
Yes.
And, I will say this, and I was not overly impressed with Liberty Center's scrimmage schedule. The Defiant scrimmage, I think we saw good things, but we saw some holes. And I think the Lipstick scrimmage did not go as planned. So I think our staff really shook these guys up to get them prepared for tonight. We will be receiving, so anxious to see what we look like on offense.
Okay, so apparently Tinora won the toss. Liberty Center will be moving from left to right. They'll have the sun at their back. The receivers, though, will be looking into the sun here in this first quarter.
They'll also have the wind at their back for any field goal attempts. And sometimes this game, because it's been so physical, has come down to special teams. I think 2 years ago we won it on a field goal. I think a couple of years ago, 23-21. I'm not sure what the score was. Yeah, it was a 43-yarder for the victory. So Liberty's had great kicking, and Ian Rosebrook and Max Walker have been fantastic special teamers for us.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I'll be answering you, Captain. I'm sorry.
Well, you've got a front line on the receiving core of Max Walker, number 40, Zach Weaver, number 62, Logan Cifuentes, an up-and-coming player. Looking at number 33, Xander Zeider, and I can't quite find the number of that last player on the inside there, the 47-yard line. But Liberty will receive here. I'm kind of anxious to see our first series on offense.
Okay, here comes the kickoff. Low line drive. That's going to head for the sideline. Go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So Liberty Center will have it in a good starting spot here to open the game.
Yeah, good field position for Liberty Center, and I think these games can be very field position sensitive. And tonight Liberty gets the ball and starts.
Now,
excellent field position.
Tinora obviously knows a little bit about Liberty. They know we've got a new quarterback. How will they? Do you think they'll attack us from a defensive standpoint?
That's a good question, Spike. If I was Tinora, and I think that they're already prepared to get after the run game for us, take some chances on the blitz with some of the more athletic secondary people. I think you're going to see a little bit what we saw last year at Otsego in that very tightly played game. Otsego really dedicated a lot of guys, to the line of scrimmage, but more importantly, the secondary players were really aggressive. They did a lot of B and C gap blitzes, and those are blitzes that are in between the guard and tackle and end. So I think Tenora's going to take some chances and some run blitzes tonight.
Now, the ball is at the 35-yard line. Isn't that where we spotted on a out of bounds?
Yeah, on a penalty. It was a 15-yard penalty, so I'll take it right here on the right hash.
All right, Liberty Center starting out with 2 wideouts to the far side of the field, tight end right. Give off the right side, no play action, over the middle, wide open, caught by Chambers at the 50, heading down the sideline. They ain't going to catch him. They're nowhere close. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown, 65 yards on a play action pass, and Miller laid it right on the money.
Yeah, Colton Chambers was running wide open on his slant. Liberty put 2 receivers to the top of your screen. And man, oh man, a good little fake inside, and that tells you Tinora is really going to be biting on play action. A great job by Grady delivering. He has struggled a little bit here in the preseason. That's a big-time touchdown for Liberty Center.
All right, Stutz will be the holder. We got to get the number of the...
Ian Rosebrock, number 84.
Is the kicker. All right. Good snap, bobbled, now picked up, rolling right. Looking for somebody, now throws it, got a man open out there, caught in the end zone.
Wow.
2-point conversion. A comeback on that fade. Made a dive and come up with it. Aiden Talent, number 9.
No, Jackson.
That's good hands.
I believe it was Jackson Bartels, number 17.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I think we thought Aiden for a second, but Jackson Bartels, an extraordinary effort. But I have to go back to the snap. That was tremendous play by Landon Amstutz, who is a guy that, when healthy, can be an excellent quarterback, but he scrambled from that bad snap and threw it all the way back across the field to number 17, Jackson Bartels. Jackson Bartels, Spike, on his knees, lunges to make that catch for the 2-point conversion. Phenomenal play by both Landon Amstutz and Jackson Bartels. Wow, what a way to start.
Yeah, Jackson Bartels, now he's another up-and-coming ball player. He had several good catches in that in the JV part of the Lipsick scrimmage.
He did.
And he looked very good. Now, Amstutz, I want to give him some credit. When he had to pick up that loose ball, when he scrambled, he didn't just give in with the little dump to the kicker, Ian.
He threw it all the way across the field.
Right, yes. That takes some arm strength.
And some athletic ability. So I think Landon Amstutz, according to Casey Moeller last year, as they prepared for their playoff run, Landon Amstutz was the opposing quarterback on the scout team. And Casey and the staff would say Landon just butchered him. I mean, really picked him apart. So I think Landon Amstutz, when healthy, he struggled to stay healthy, but he is a heck of a weapon when he's healthy.
Okay, Max Weaver to kick off for the Tigers. Weaver. Now a low line drive bounding, takes 2 hops, picked up at the 10-yard line, returned to the right side, slips through a hole. We've got a flag behind the play, and it looks like it may be a hold on Tinora Rams.
Maybe blocking the back, but Waylon Rentz, that special teams coverage, did a great job. Rentz, and then a whole host of white shirts made the tackle. So if this goes against Tinora, this gives Liberty Center, again, we talked about field position. There's the holding. Our spotter, the captain, nailed that one right off the bat. Mark Bly, well done. Liberty Center backs Tinora up. So we start at the 35, first play touchdown. Tinora now has to start inside their 20. Liberty Center pretty happy with early field position.
Boy, you better believe it. That's going to go all the way back to the 13-yard line with the wind in their face. So for Liberty Center, they want to look to find, get a good stop, good quick 3 and out here. All right.
Landon Bockelman at nose guard.
Drops back to throw. Throws the home run ball. Got a man wide open out there. Caught at the 50-yard line.
Now, you knew this was going to happen. You know, you got a good quarterback in Dominic Graziani, and Liberty Center right now is vulnerable in the defensive backfield. That was Aiden Talent that just got straight up beat on a very easy route. And give Tinora credit. That was part of their game plan, is to attack our corners. We gave up a lot of big plays in the preseason, and that has started here in the first play of the game for Tinora. Big play for Tinora in the passing game.
All right, now the Rams come out with basically the same formation. 2 wide outs to the wide side, the far side, wide out here with the wing. Give to the running back off that right side. Nothing doing there, and the Tiger defense rises to the occasion, tosses them for a yard loss. That was Colton Cruz.
And Xander Zeider, but again, you can kind of see what Tinora wants to do. They want to isolate our defensive backs. They went after Aiden. I think they're going to do it again. Watch that matchup. Number 2, Owen Ackerman, lined up against number 9, Aiden Talent. So we're going to need to tighten it up in the defensive secondary here a little bit.
All right. Sometimes the best teacher is a mistake. You go get it back. All right. Now they've got a man in the slot on this side, the short side of the field, double wide out, single setback, man in motion. Quarterback. Hands off again, that left side, and he's not going anywhere either. Was that Navarre, I believe?
That's Waylon Rentz on a really great read on the inside
Navarre
as well.
And Rentz. So a gain of a yard now brings up 3rd down and 11 for the Rams at the Tiger 46.
You know, the defensive line for Liberty Center, very effective making plays. And then the tackle made by Waylon Rentz, who's just an outstanding middle linebacker for Liberty.
All right, same 4 wide receiver set with a single setback, offset to the left, straight drop. Looks, throws on an out route, and that's going to be way out. I think the receiver cut to the inside. Quarterback maybe didn't read that, but
Xander Zeider on some pressure, and that's what we're going to have to do. And I think our defensive line and linebackers are going to be able to get to Dominic Graziani's spike tonight. And that time it was number 33, Xander Zeider, on the pressure, which forced him to make the throw early and inaccurate. So excellent job by Liberty Center's defensive line, putting pressure on the quarterback.
All right, so Tinora will be punting into the wind, but they're beyond midfield. So field position here, slightly bobbled, gets off a short wobbler. That's going to hit at about the 25-yard line. Waylon Rentz passes out a little bit of judicial 15. Ooh.
Liberty Center, again, got to be pleased with early field position. We at the 26-yard line, and, you know, this is not the start that Tinora wanted. After the big play down the field by Dominic Graziani, put a ball right on the money. Liberty Center tightened the screws, got some pressure, and turned them back to offense.
Okay, sweep around the left side, running room there. Colton Cruz, I believe, picks up about 5 tough yards, hits and banged forward to fill out the run. That's nice. That's 6-yard gain on 1st down.
Good blocking up front. Excellent block by his brother, Trenton Cruz. Colton Cruz is difficult to bring down. He's like tackling razor blades. Good finish.
All right, plunge into the line. That went nowhere.
Little inside trap to Trenton. Tinora did a good job. They're slanting their front, being very athletic. Liberty will have to, the staff will have to take a look at that on the headphones and how they might want to counter that. You know, Tinora is not as big as Liberty up front, so they're going to have to move their front, be athletic, and take some chances with some blitzing. That was a good play by the Tinora defensive front line.
All right, Cruz. Landon Cruz spread wide to the far side. Talent over here. Now Colton in motion. They're going to throw it underneath. Chambers trying to put on a move. Hit right away. Picks up a yard, maybe 2. It'll bring up 4th down and short from Liberty inside the 35-yard line.
We talked about it in the pregame spike. Tinora really runs to the football. There it was. 8, 7, 6 hats. on a play that was a pass play, a quick pass to Colton Chambers, but Tinora covered it really well with their athletic secondary and got him down. Bad snap here. And Tinora gets the ball back on a bad snap. We could not corral it. Number 50, Max Walker, no shot on that snap. Turns the ball back over to Tinora, Spike, and that's a tough turnover in special teams.
Well, we got a break early on. Well, it wasn't a break. We earned it, but now Tinora catches a break, and that's, I mean, you know what? If this is going to happen, fine. Let it happen now. Let the players work with the adversity here and try to move up. All right, now wide out, single wide out to the wide side of the field, ball on the left hash. We got trip receivers to the short side.
Watch him go up top here early on.
Empty backfield, throws underneath, and that is not caught. Excellent coverage by Trent Cruz.
Typically, after a big turnover, you see a big play down the field on this sudden change, and Tinora decided to go with more of a controlled passing game there, but to your point, Trent Cruz all over that route. Liberty's defense was phenomenal last year. They returned a lot of players on that defense, and particularly the linebacking core. You talked about it earlier. I expect Liberty to be a very good defensive team this season.
All right, again out of shotgun. Now they go trip receivers wide side. Back to throw. Launches it again. There's some hand fighting going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. Owen Ackerman going against Aiden Talent. Aiden was all over him, holding his uniform. That's going to be a pass interference or a holding play against Aiden Talent. So I think Tinora knows who they want to target, and Aiden is struggling earlier. But as you said, let's get it out of your bloodstream early. See if we can get this matchup tightened up a little bit, because they are going to go down the field against our defensive backs. Aiden checks out, and Grady Miller comes back in. Tinora has got some good size at the wide receiver position, so it allows Graziani to throw the ball up and win some 50-50 balls. That's what that was right there. Just throw the ball up and see if they can be a better athlete than we are.
Yeah, now there was pushing both ways, as they went downfield. I don't know. Could have went either way in my book. Now offset to the right. They give it on a jet sweep around the right side. He's got a little bit of running room. Cups up through the seam. Picks up about 9 yards on the play on first down.
Carter Gillum, senior, one of their important offensive players. I think the interior line got good push, but we broke down there off the end. Excellent gain by Tinora. I think they've gained 6 or 7 yards there. So good running play for Tinora. Oh, that was a gain of 9.
Okay, now a double wide out to the wide side, single on the other with the wing. Now, curl across, but quarterback keeps it.
Yep, big face mask penalty. Liberty Center will get nailed with the face mask, and that's going to get them first and goal on the half-yard line. Landon Bockelman, I think, maybe got the hands to the face. Oh, yeah, it's a face mask, yep. That was going to be a keep, Spike. The quarterback, Dominic Graziani, very athletic, very quick around the end. Saw in a lot of his huddle film in the scrimmage season. Difficult to bring down, really good running quarterback, which is different than what you've seen from Tinora for a long time, a different dimension.
Right. Okay, now a little tight formation. They've got a single wide out to either side. Quarterback with 2 men in the backfield. Give to the second back. He powers forward down near the goal line.
So they're going to mark it right at that half-yard line. Liberty Center stout in the middle of the field.
Well, sometimes one of them has a better view just because of the mix of the players.
Oh, they're going to call a touchdown on that? Oh, they called a touchdown. Delayed call, you're right.
Yeah. 7.5 minutes to go. Here's the extra point kick, up and good. 8-7 now in a game where Liberty had one big play and then some errors, and Tinora took advantage, and they virtually tied the score with a touchdown apiece.
That was an odd touchdown. you saw 2 line judges. One didn't call it, one did call it, and then you looked a little delayed on what the head linesman and the official called it. So it was a touchdown. Again, Mark Bly doing some good spotting for us up here. You don't always hear him. We do. So sometimes we're talking to like
hey, that's the
straw
best
man.
kind. I'm on the air now,
okay,
guys.
Good. All right. I wasn't sure. It's like talking to a straw man.
I'm going to break my own rule for this year, but you talk about Xander Zeider. We've got his sister, Aubrey, actually got an injury at volleyball today, and she's in the ER listening. So.
Oh, my. I'm sorry about your misfortune there, kid. Wow.
As Aubrey listens, though, her brother is playing very, very well. Had a great scrimmage season, and so far so good for Xander here on the defensive line. But Liberty's got to get back to work. I don't think Casey or Paul Amstutz, your special team coach, will accept bad snaps and basically handing Tinora touchdowns. Liberty can't make those kind of mistakes on the road.
Captain, are you able to get the scoreboard?
Yeah, we do have the scoreboard, but with the sun beating against it, you guys are going to have to stay on the clock and whatever until the sun goes down a little bit, and then it'll come to attrition.
By the way, who's our cameraman?
It's some short little cross-country guy. I don't know.
The Digger Barnes. Thomas Moeller on the kickoff return. Good coverage there by Tinora. Again, Tinora really athletic. A lot of athletes, a lot of senior athletes. The guys know how to run. They know how to get to the point of attack. Good tacklers.
All right, now Liberty Center goes back to the offensive side of the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. 7.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. 8-7 Liberty. Grady Miller, the quarterback, under center. Wide out to the far side, wing right. Give up, second back, right run tackle, stays on his feet, pounds his way up to the 30-yard line. Colton Cruz, pick up of 5 yards.
Excellent downfield blocking by number 63, Stephen Brogan, but play side, Waylon Rentz with a kick-out block. Liberty Center right on target in their run game. Good initial blocks and good downfield blocking by the Tigers.
All right. Pickup was 6 yards. Now we've got Landon Cruz spread out wide to the wide side. Ball on the right hash. Man in the slot with a tight end right. Gives the first back. That's Colton Cruz again. Hit, but keeps his balance. Drives forward for a couple of, maybe 3 tough yards here.
Number 76, Landon Newsom. Senior defensive tackle, maybe their biggest and best defensive lineman, 6'2", 220, shed his block and got Liberty to the ground, but first down for Liberty Center. Just enough.
They gave it that.
Liberty wants to control the clock. They want to run the football, spike, and possess the ball, keep the ball away from that explosive Tinora offense.
All right, wide out to either side, double wing set. Colton in motion. Give off to Rentz. Rentz off the left side, pounds forward. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. So the Tigers appearing to be very vicious, very focused, very orchestrated with the offensive running game right now.
Yeah, if Liberty Center was familiar with the Rex Lindgren teams of the 90s and 2000s, a lot of running, 6-7 yards of pop, good offensive line, running behind Landon Bockelman.
All right, now overloaded to the right side, dropping back to throw, lofts it behind, and it's over the top of Brooks Bainfeld, the tight end, who kind of did it down and then a hard slant out.
Brooks Bainfeld was open on that throwback. That's a very hard throw for Grady. He also had some receivers down the field to his left that I thought maybe he would work his progression, but Liberty Center now in a 3rd and 7.
Okay. Tigers with the ball at their own 37-yard line, out of the gun. Little cross buck, and that goes nowhere. The Tinora Rams sniffed it out. And that'll be loss of a yard on the play, and Liberty Center now with a 4th and 7. Looking at probable punt. Now, let's see who the long snapper is.
I think it might be Clayton Seal, but we'll look and get a look and see who it is on this snap. Okay, number 8, Now, was he the long snapper on that missed snap? Okay, he was.
All right, Walker, excuse me, back to punt. High, or spiraling. Caught there at the 28-yard line and brought down just across out to the 32 or so.
Good play. Good play, good tackle by Cam Colley. Tinora doing a really good job early on defense, especially off tackle. Talking to the coaches this week, Spike, they talked about off-tackle blitzes against the run. Now, that'll be a penalty against Tinora. It was a tackle made, essentially, a hold. Will back up Tinora, which is an important penalty for Liberty Center's defense. But Tinora doing exactly what our staff anticipated. A lot of off-tackle blitzing, a lot of moving that front line, and creating some havoc for Liberty Center in the run game. And so far, Tinora, although I think Liberty has one more snaps, is being very effective with their play in the box.
Okay, a 5-yard walk back. So the line of scrimmage now at the 28-yard line.
Aiden Talent back on the field.
After the penalty, first and 10 Rams from their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, because the ball was up around the... Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. It's going to be hard to get used to that. All right, double wide out here, one to the wide side. Man in motion to the right. Quarterback out of the gun. Hand straight up the middle. And a couple of yards. Now still driving and pounding, getting some push from behind. And we see that in the NFL sometimes. But a pickup now of about, 6 yards on first down.
Number 34, Joey Gussinger, is their key man in this run game. Very powerful, athletic senior. Guy playing both ways, effective running back, and he carried that pile, Spike, 5 or 6 yards. Effective first play here, 2nd and 5.
Hunter Spangler, number 74 now, is a defensive end. All right, motion coming back this way. Quarterback gives it right up the middle. Hit right there and stop. No gain on the play. Pow! The Tigers laid it on him.
Great job again. Xander Zeiter gets off of his block and slides down into the hole where the running back was. He's excellent so far, his play, using his hands, shedding blockers, and then you saw the cavalry.
Now, did he line up in the middle that time?
He will line up in all kinds of spots.
Oh, I see. He's over on the right side now as a defensive end.
They're playing matchups here, Spike, and you're going to see this defensive line move all over the place. Landon Bachelman now at nose guard, Xander Zeiter at a defensive end.
All right, straight drop. Throws over the middle. That's caught, and that's going to be a pickup of about 11 yards. That'll move the chains for the Rams. 3:45 left here in the first quarter. Liberty Center leads it 8-7.
A good play by Dominic Graziani. Grady Gusweiler, one of their most important wide receivers. You've got a lot of good seniors at the skilled spots. This number 2, Owen Ackerman, has really won this matchup against Aiden Talent. Liberty needs to get some pressure.
All right, back to throw, short drop, and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Talent, and we had that Cruz come across from his safety spot. Maybe even got a finger on that possible deflection. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Ackerman has run 2 straight deep routes up the numbers. That one was a slant route. Good read by number 8, Landon Cruz, a senior who led this area in interceptions. Really did a nice job breaking on that ball and breaking that pass up.
All right, now Tinora comes out with a double wing set. Actually, one wing moving up into the slot, wide out to the far side. Now fumbled in the backfield, and I don't know, Zeiter may have recovered that. Well, wait.
It's like number 34, Joey Gussinger, may have recovered it, but Xander Zeiter all over that free ball, getting off, just doing a great job of getting off block, Spike, and getting to the point of attack and getting to the football. Really like how Xander Zeiter is playing this football game right now.
Yeah, he's got such a quick first step.
Great foot,
good
get
hips.
Off, great hands.
Yes.
Great shed, and getting to the football, Xander Zeiter tonight.
Now, 3rd down and 13 for the Rams, back at their own 39. They have to get the ball across midfield to the 48 for a first down. Trip receivers right, rolling right. Quarterback lofts it out there, and it's incomplete. Wow.
Yeah, Landon Bockelman is going to get a lot of attention. Statistically, I don't know where he'll end up this season, but the attention that he draws opens up opportunities for guys like Seth Navarre and Xander Zeider.
Yes.
And you're seeing Xander Zeider play a great football game, but a lot of it is due to the attention to Landon Bockelman.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Scott. You know, it'll open it up, and the coaching staff will develop their game plan from things like this the first game. All right, now back to punt, standing at his 25-yard line. Takes his time. Spiraling kick, that's going to be taken there at the 25-yard line, and battles up maybe 3 yards, and that's it. Good coverage by the Tinora Rams.
Braden Rossetti, again, I just can't say it enough. Really impressed with Tenora's athleticism in their skilled positions. They're doing a great job covering punts and kickoffs. And Braden Rossetti, that time with a great open field tackle, got Cam Colley to the ground immediately. Liberty starts inside their 30.
Well, the good thing about it is Liberty Center holds on defense and forces a punt. All right, now the Tigers shift off, or a hard loaded right side. They're going to run power sweep that way. Nice cut back across the grain. Puts his head down. Still going. Colton Cruz dragging a couple of tacklers. Picks up 9 yards on the play.
That's tough running right there by Colton Cruz. You'll see that all year long. I'm not sure Liberty has a lot of home run hitters in the backfield, but they got a lot of hitters. And I tell you what, Colton Cruz saw the hole, saw daylight, and got into the face of that second level. Again, another good block at the point of attack with number 63, Stephen Brogan. So,
hey, I tell you what, I'll take opposite field doubles and line drive singles all day long. We got plenty of those. Now Chambers moves over here. Brooks Bainfeld now the tight end on the right. 2 setbacks. Give to the second. No, play action again. Brady lofts it out there just over the outstretched hands of Trenton Cruz.
Yeah, Trenton Cruz was wide open. Really good run fake from Grady, but he's going to get that arm up and deliver a more accurate pass. He had a wide open Trenton Cruz for big yards and just overthrew him.
Well, and those are touch passes. You know, they're not that hard tight end 7 yards and over the middle where you zing it in there. This is touch, so this will take a little time for Grady to, he'll adjust to that. All right. Now motion coming back against. They're going to give it on a jet sweep. Chambers hit right away. Gets it up across the 40 to the 41. Pickup of a couple.
Another good play by defensive back, number 9, Trenton DeLarber. You see their defensive backs and their safety spike getting to that line of scrimmage. Casey talked about it. Tinora runs to the football really well, and that's what they've done on every snap tonight. A lot of involvement by second, third level players and getting guys to the ground. Excellent job by Tenora's defense.
Okay. Play clock at 10. Tigers show a double wide out to the wide side. Now motion toward the wide side. Snap, I think, was hit. And Grady Miller has to scramble to pick it up. That snap may have hit the motion man.
That is a tough set of circumstances when you can't get a snap down. A lot of these snaps out of shotgun are timing when you've got motion.
Yes.
And, obviously that time could not get a snap from center to quarterback, and that ended Liberty Center's drive with 33 seconds. Tenora's got to be thrilled to death that they're going to get the football back, and they've stopped Liberty Center.
All right, low bounding kick, hits at the 45,
Good
takes
roll.
a great Tiger roll all the way down to the 30-yard line. So let me see, 41 yards on the punt, so that pushes Tinora back. We've got 19 seconds remaining here in the first period. A game with some big plays, some mistakes, as we would expect here in the first game. It's coming from both sides of the football for both teams.
Good punt by Max Walker, bailing Liberty Center out a little bit on that bad snap. But Tinora, I kind of felt coming to this game, Tinora was going to do some things and have some matchups, and they've exploited those thus far. So Give credit to Tinora. So far, good game plan.
Single setback, 4 wideouts. Now they're going to throw the home run ball again. McCauley out there, and it's caught.
And these routes they're running are just basically, my athlete's better than yours. That was Caden Radzik, and they're just throwing balls up, this time against Cam Colley. You know, the corners for Liberty there's opportunities to grow and get better, but it's very obvious, obviously coming off of last year with 2 all-league players, that there's some growing pains in the defensive backfield, and Tinora has found our players early and made some big plays in the passing game. Cam had a chance to go get that, I think, but I think he was so intent on covering that got it to the back shoulder and got a completion out of it.
All right, now a quick pitch sweep, and that'll go nowhere. Great penetration from linebacker Colton Cruz on the play. Maybe a yard at most. No, actually a loss of a yard.
Yeah, good tackle for loss by Colton. And Liberty defensively is going to have to get a few of those, because Tinora, for sure, getting what they want in the air and getting it deep. Liberty's going to have to tighten it down in the backfield, defensive backfield.
Hey, while we got a break in the action, let's thank our sponsors, because, ladies and gentlemen, without these people, these broadcasts simply cannot happen. KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, STN Design, Affinity IT Group, 3Chord, Davis Farms, Swanton Welding, Pam and Dick Leatherman, Pisanello's Pizza, and the Gerald Grain Center. And again, thank you guys very much for your support. And again, without these people, the broadcasts simply do not happen.
Yeah, got it. All right. With big play by Colton Cruz, loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11 for the Rams, but they're in Tiger territory at the 42. Change of quarters, so now Tinora now has the sun at their backs as they line up from the offense. Trip receivers to this short side. They threw underneath to the underneath man the last time. Now motion. They're going to run a power sweep that way. And hitting the backfield. The Tigers string it out and nail him for another 4-yard loss.
That's a big-time play by Colton Cruz. I mean, he kept his outside arm open, strung that play out, and got him to the ground. A lot of Liberty Center pursuit there, but Colton's made 2 plays for about -6 yards. Colton Cruz, phenomenal snap there.
Wow. Boy, that was huge. Now that forces Tinora with the ball back at their Liberty's 46. Now they've got to look for a big play of 15 yards.
This might be a 2-snap, 3rd and 4th down try here. We'll see where they get with this pass play here.
He wants to throw to the sideline and comes back to the ball, grabs it, and that's a 1st down. The ball was probably underthrown. The receiver had to come back for the ball, read the play, and Tinora picks up 17 yards. That's a 1st down to the Tiger 28-yard line.
That's a tough conversion, 3rd and 14. Again, Tinora just have made a decision to go downfield. I think they've got a distinct advantage with their athletes against our defensive backfield, and they are having a lot of success throwing the football against Liberty Center right now.
All right, they continue. Now it's trip receivers to the far side. They keep mixing it up. The wide side, back to throw. Wants to throw underneath. That's caught. Stumbles, bangs his way down. That's a pickup of 15 yards. And now Tinora knocking at the door in the red zone down to the 13-yard line of the Liberty Center Tigers.
Dominic Graziani putting the ball right on the money. Did not see any white uniforms near that throw. Liberty's going to have to tighten it up in the defensive backfield.
Okay. So Tinora, ball on the left far hash mark. They've got 2 receivers on that short side, a single receiver to the wide. Now they're going to give it right up the middle of running room, and 5-3 touchdown. Wow.
Inside trap, well blocked. You know, when you're throwing the ball as well as Tenora's throwing it against us, that spreads things out a little bit and opens up some running lanes. And number 4, Grady Gusweiler, basically just walked in the end zone. Not a lot of white uniforms anywhere near him on that inside trap. Tinora takes the lead.
Yep, 13-8. And the point after touchdown kick on the way. Low snap, good grab, good hold, kick on the way, it's good. 14-8. Tinora takes the lead at the 10-14 mark of period number 2.
Eric Becker, first-year head coach. Excellent game plan. I think he did a great job of preparing for Liberty Center. He knows exactly what his offense can get, and he's getting everything he wants out of his passing game. On the other hand, Liberty Center is going to have to get a sustained drive and kind of avoid those mistakes on those snaps and bad snaps on the punt. We're going to have to tighten things up a little bit, avoid mistakes, and get a good drive. A good drive here gets Liberty Center back in this football game.
Right, and I think it's part of the Tenora's had time of possession. Probably it's about even now. Liberty Center wants to control the football, but Tenora's made just enough stops on defense against the Tiger running game. That, and, of course, those lobs for Liberty are open, but it's a matter of getting the timing straightened out, and that will come. I promise. I hope it's tonight. Now, Scott, you're Coach Casey Moeller, and what do you look to do? Is there anything with the offense you need to kind of chink around with here?
I think the play-action passing is available to him. Grady's got to hit some of those intermediate passes. I think that Tinora is jumping on a lot of run, jumping on our wing, jumping on our tight end. So I think Casey's got the playbook and he's got some plays in that playbook, I think, and to take advantage of the over-aggressiveness of the defensive backfield in that second level, those linebackers. And I think we have some effective plays against some of that over-aggressiveness with Tinora. We knew that this was going to happen. Otsego did it to us last year. It was a very tight game. 9-0. I think Tenora's basically, it looks a lot like what we saw at Otsego last year.
Yeah. Okay. Cam Colley recovered the bobble on the kickoff, and good return, good slippery move, followed his block, cut back up, and got it back to the 24-yard line. So a success in its own right after the bobble. Now, in motion, Trent hit the backfield. Wow, a shoestring tackle. Trent Cruz had some running room to the outside, but he knifed in there, the linebacker, and that's going to be a 3-yard loss.
Alex Homier just knifing through, tackle for loss, puts Liberty Center. And our offense is not predicated on throwing the ball down the field, Spike. It's going to be very difficult for us. That playbook gets very thin at the 2nd and 14. Great job by Tenora's defense.
All right, Tigers show wing left set, one wide out to the short side of the field. Miller under center. Give off that right side. Running room. Picks up about 7 on the play coming back. That'll make it a little bit more makeable. 3rd down and about 6 to go.
That dive was right there. Good job at the point of attack by Liberty Center on the right side of that line. It was very, very, very good blocking by Brady Giesge up top. And number 70, Seth Navarre. So Liberty on a dive picked up a bunch of yards. Big 3rd and 6 here, Spike.
All right. Wing left set, wide out to the far side. Miller under center. Give to the first back through. He'll punch across the 30, maybe to the 31, but that's going to bring up 4th down and 3 yards to go.
Tenora's defense has really been very effective getting inside our C gap or inside that tackle tight end gap. We want to run out there, but Tenora's taken that away. Again, a lot of athleticism and activity up front, a lot of blitzing on that second level. So we're going to have to complete some passes here to loosen that Tinora defense up.
All right, the wind has slowed way down. A nice high spiraling kick. Fair catch called for down at the 40-yard line. So we have a 32-yard punt, and the Tinora will take over there on their own 40.
Max Walker, if you recall last year, Spike, he almost basically won the Archbold game for us with his tremendous punting. And tonight, no different. He's done a great job tonight.
Good hang time.
Good hang time, and when he gets a good snap, he'll give you a good punt. So Liberty Center, number 74, checks in at nose guard. Hunter Spangler gets some snaps here. He's been very good in the preseason along with Xander Zeider.
All right, Tigers with a big defensive front three there, with the snipers up near the line of scrimmage. Man in motion this way. They'll go the other way. Step in the backfield. That was Bockelman, and he banged, pow, cram, bam.
Landon Bockelman just beat his guy off the snap, and goodness sakes, just got right after Grady Gusweiler and Damian Graziani. Good job. Tackle for loss. Good job by Liberty's defense on that first snap. Get them behind the chains. Force them to do some things that they're uncomfortable with.
Right. Yeah, the long bomb lobs are going to be, those are 50-50 type balls, but they need something shorter. Out of the gun, two-step drop. Looks, nothing there. Has to scramble. Now rolling back to his left. Here comes Cruz. He throws the wrong one, and that's going to be picked off!
Number 7, Cam Colley, did a great job of staying disciplined and getting underneath that deep route. And Graziani likes to get outside the pocket. That time he's rolling left. That's a hard throw for a quarterback to roll left and throw back to the middle of the field. That's almost it's almost a sin of unproportionate levels to throw the ball back to the middle of the field when you're rolling opposite your arm.
Yeah, you better believe
Liberty
it.
Center with a lot of pressure there. It initially started by Landon Bockelman. It really squeezed him and pressured him out of the pocket. Good job by Liberty Center and Cam Colley to get Tinora turned over.
All right, 7.5 minutes remaining first quarter. It's 14-8 Tinora. Liberty with the football. Give to the second back. Power football. Colton makes a cut. Rambles forward. Drags a tackler all the way up to the 50-yard line. Gain of 15 on the play.
Grady Gusweiler for Tinora, though, really missed an opportunity for a tackle for loss. Another blitz, but this time Liberty hits it vertically. Good run by Colton. Hitting that line of scrimmage a little quicker, not giving those defensive backs and those blitzes time to get home and get negative plays.
Right. You live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. You live by the pass, you die by the pass. So that time it did not work. Liberty took great advantage. All right, we got Cruz spread wide to the far side, wing right package. Give, second back, straight up the middle, pounding stakes on his feet, still goes. Trent Cruz down inside the 45 to the 43 at a gain of 6.
Good feet inside, running right there, Liberty Center. Good block by Clayton Seal. Excellent run by Trenton Cruz. Good read, Spike. Good feet, good quick feet, good cutback. Excellent first down play of 8 yards.
Yeah, Tigers really, really, really need the momentum of a grind them out, pound them out drive, and it's starting right now.
And remember, Tinora gets the ball at half, so this is a big drive for Liberty Center.
Talent spread wide to the far side, wing right package with Chambers. Give to the second back. Colton Cruz cuts outside. Now back inside. Picks up about 4 on the play. And that'll be a Tiger first down to the Tinora 40-yard line.
That was all Colton Cruz. Tinora did a good job of caving the right side of our offensive line down. Tinora, for not being big and not being deep, they're winning some battles there at the on the front line a little more surprising. Liberty, though, when they're attacking vertically the line of scrimmage, there are holes in their yards there. Tip your cap to Tinora. They've come to play tonight.
Yeah, a comment on that after this play. Tigers go with this wide out to the right side. Chambers left. Gives straight up the middle. And Trent Cruz not tripped up, but he got hit in the ankles as he was going over the top. Did a flip-flop and comes down, though, but picks up 4.
And Grady Gusweiler, outstanding tackler, got through their good read. They ran to the ball well again. Grady's made a lot of plays tonight for Tinora. Tripped up Cruz before he can get going.
All right, Talent spread wide to the right. Double wing set for Liberty, single setback. Miller under center, motion this way. They're going to give it straight up the middle to Rentz. Rentz gets to the 35, and that's it. A yard maybe on the play. So Liberty looking at 3rd and 4 coming up. I did want to mention Tinora with the new coaching staff, the changes made, and perhaps there's some new feeling here, a regeneration of focus in Tinora Rams. They're playing well, as you've alluded to.
Yeah, they're getting hats to the ball. That time I counted 8 green helmets on an inside trap. Tinora has come to play. They're very energized, Spike, to your point. That was excellent.
4.5 minutes here left in the second quarter. Give to the second back, makes a great cut, hit, gets down to the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a Liberty Center Tiger first down.
Very important drive for Liberty. This is the kind of team we're going to have to be. We're not that explosive in our offense this year, and I think we got to control the line of scrimmage. The clock continues to run at 4:20. Excellent job so far. This is kind of who we're going to be. Run the ball, grind some runs out, bigger, better offensive line, play action pass.
All right. Aiden Talent spread wide to the far side of the field. Chambers, the wing back over here on the left, tight end left.
Tinora with a timeout.
Tinora takes their first time out. So, 4:04 in the second quarter, 14-8 Tinora, but the Tigers on the move at the Ram 35.
All right, I'm going to jump in here and talk a little bit about something new that we're doing, and that's the Tiger Sports Live Foundation. The foundation was built as a tax exempt and a charitable organization. We are going to use the dollars that people donate to the foundation to further build our studio, build our equipment, build an environment for our students in the Liberty Center School District to get more involved with Tiger Sports Live. That's really the future of what we do. And we're getting involved with the school. There's a class going to be taught. There's some technology stuff that's going on in conjunction with the school. If you'd like to find out more about the Liberty Center Tiger Sports Live Foundation, you can contact Scott Barrett, Mark Bly, Karen Savage. If you want to donate to that, we'd certainly welcome that, and those funds will be used for our students in the Liberty Center School District.
Liberty Center 1st and 10 on the Tinora 30 with 4 minutes to go. Grady Miller under center. A little keep here for Grady around the end. Good job. Excellent job on a power keep on a Grady Miller on a power keep. Everybody jumped on that power, and Grady gets to the outside. Looks like he might be a little banged up, took a shot, but big gain by Grady. An excellent play call by Casey. Tinora is just dedicating so many guys off tackle. You know, Grady pulls that ball out, and that keep was there for big yards.
And he's very much an athlete that is quite capable of doing that. So we may see
guy. Landon Amstutz here, who's been injured, but, you know, talking to the staff and learning what Amstutz can do, I think last year in that tournament prep, he can throw the football. It's been an injury bug for Landon Amstutz, not a talent issue.
Waylon Renson, now we got a play blown dead. I don't know.
Timeout, Liberty Center.
Well, clock at 3.5 minutes. Good job here to use that, especially with having to put Amstutz into the lineup. Oh.
No, I think the insertion of Landon Amstutz gives Liberty Center a really good throwing quarterback here, and I think Liberty's going to have to throw the ball a little bit, but good job by Grady again on that power keep. Opened up really nice, and tribute to the staff. They saw that up top. So much attention paid to the running backs, motion and wing. Take that ball out of the belly, and it was wide open, Spike. That was a great play call by Casey.
Yep. Casey going after the umpire. He did not call a timeout. He wanted the clock. The play clock hadn't started or reset.
You he doesn't want Tinora to get any more possessions before the half, because they will get it after half. So Casey is keenly aware of the It's a big touchdown, Spike, as you talked about. If we could finish this drive, but not giving Tinora a lot of time is a big part of this.
Miller back under center for Liberty Center.
Okay, wing left set, wide out. Now motion with that wingman. They give it to Rentz. Great penetration from Tinora, and stop for no gain.
If you look at the people making tackles, Spike, their defensive backs really run into the football. Exactly what the scouting report told us. I kind of thought Colton Chambers did a good job on his kick-out block, and I think Whalen went outside. I think there was more room inside on that run.
Yeah. Cam Colley will line up as a wideout over on this side. Tigers with the formation set to the left. Motion now going left. Give straight up the middle. That's Rentz. Rentz pounds forward down to the 10-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Brings up now 3rd down and about 8 yards to go.
Good blocking there by number 70, Seth Navarre. Number 55, Brady Giesge.
Well, now the Tigers with 2.5 minutes, 3rd down and 8. This is a tough play call here. Tigers with the wing back left set under center. And he'll run a pitch sweep. That's caught Trent Cruz. Trent Cruz chipped up inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. And that's going to bring up 4th down and maybe a yard to go.
Good run by Trent Cruz. Good play call by Liberty Center. Good blocking up front. Clayton, Seal, Landon Bockelman, and number 20, Brooks Bainfeld. All good point of attack blocks right there. 2 yards to go, Spike. We can't express how important a 1st down and a touchdown on this drive can be.
All right. Colton Cruz behind the quarterback under center. They're going to give it to Trent Cruz. Trent Cruz off the right side.
There you go.
Holds forward. He's close to the end zone. Yes, he's in. He's in. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. Wow, they answered the bell. 3rd and 8. Got down to the 2, and then the Tigers powered up behind Bockelman into the end zone.
That was classic Liberty Center football.
Smash mouth.
I don't know what the time of possession there was, but it was a bunch of minutes. Great job by our offensive line, that coaching staff. Excellent play calling. Big extra point here.
Snap, good hold, kick up on the way, high archer, good! So Liberty Center has forged their way back into the lead, and as you have alluded to several times on this drive, it was very important that Liberty scored because, like you said, Tinora will get the ball in the second half.
Guys, I thought we got the ball right around the 8-minute mark, so you're looking at a 6+ minute drive there.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes.
And that you see up here on the roof, Rex Lindgren has been hanging around. That looks a little bit like football in the 90s and early 2000s, and just pounding the turf, running the football. And I think, again, as I've said before, I think this is going to look a little bit more like Liberty Center this year. Ball control and really rely on that offensive line until the passing game kind of rounds out. Tinora does have 1:39 and has been very effective in the deep passing game. So Liberty's probably, you're going to see a little bit more nickel and maybe some pressure to kind of get Dominic Graziani off his spot. And when you got Dominic off his spot, Spike, he threw a big interception.
Right. Well, and they're utilizing that passing attack that doesn't need much time. They spread everybody out.
Throw the ball up.
And they get rid of it quick. 2-step drop and go. It's tough sometimes to get pressure.
Well, those deep balls they've completed, those 50-50 balls as you call them, those have been really easy routes, just throw it up. But that'll be more difficult with the pressure and guys like Landon Bockelman breathing down his neck.
All right, end over end. That's going to come down at the 10-yard line. Return to the right side. Hit right away, and number 62, I think.
Yes, Logan C. Fuentes.
57 also.
57, number 57 was in on that play. Deegan Swigert, but that was Logan C. Fuentes all the way. Great job, good pursuit. Liberty's coverage team starting to tighten it up a little bit. As you spoke to earlier, it's an early game. You know, the way that the practices and the state has kind of spread this thing out. These first games, this is almost like your third scrimmage, so it's been a little difficult for Liberty to fire all cylinders, but you're seeing improvement. You can see it in the coverage on that kickoff. Well done by Liberty Center special teams.
Yeah, I see down here on this side
That's
of the
a good
field.
physical matchup. Grady Miller matched up against number 2, Owen Ackerman.
Receivers now rolls that way under pressure.
There it is.
Back in there.
There it is. Landon Bockelman. The first Saccarino of the 23 season. It could not come at a better time. There it was. He was looking down the field. You need 3.5 seconds to get something, and you're just not going to hold someone like Landon Bockelman 3.5 seconds. He's just a man playing with a bunch of boys and a lot of snaps.
Scott, how much would you pay me for a Saccarino T-shirt?
Oh, I don't even know that there's a price I wouldn't pay. It's almost like Hulkamania. The Saccarino is as good as it. It doesn't get no better than a Saccarino.
It don't get no better than this.
Maybe that's going to be the front of the shirt. It don't get no better than that Saccarino on the back.
I love it. I love it. What an important sack by Liberty's defense, and Landon Bockelman, I think, sensing we got to get a stop here, boys, because Tinora gets that ball at half. Great job by the senior, and he just basically manhandled anybody. I think he was double-teamed. I don't think he even cared about it.
Wow, 13-yard loss brings up 2nd and 23 with 1:17 left in the half. Tinora going with the big offense, trip receivers to the wide side. Takes a look, now throws short over the middle. That's going to be caught.
Oh, they're going to give it? I thought that ball hit the ground, but they're going to give him a catch.
Yeah. Wow, went down, dug it out of the dirt. Pickup of 14 yards on the play, ball up to the 29-yard line.
Ooh, that's a tough call.
Third down and 7 for the Rams.
Good catch by Carter Gilliam. I thought that ball hit the ground.
Double wide out to either side, short drop. Looks, now throws a home run ball. Got a man out there, but overthrown, incomplete.
Grady Gusweiler was running wide open down the numbers. I think there may have been a blown coverage, but they're talking about it a little bit. I see Chris Riggy barking at the defensive backfield, but fortunately did not complete that ball. 4th and 7.
Yeah, you can't put the ball perfectly on the money every time. It just ain't going to happen. You can run the football, and with that intensity, with the intricacy, the precision of the offensive line's footwork, the running back knowing the play, reading the play, hitting the hole at precisely the right time, that works.
That was
every
a lot
time.
of adjectives.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, 46 seconds here, and now the play blown dead.
Delay a game.
Wow, that certainly doesn't hurt Liberty Center here.
Hey, at halftime, just a quick note, we're going to be broadcasting both bands, and we'll be back with some stats and the second half of football here from Justin Caressel Stadium.
You know, Liberty Center here has got an opportunity for some good field position. Double return people standing back just across the 40-yard line.
And watch out for Ian Rosebrock here on this drive.
Spiraling punch short. That's going to hit it to 45.
Oh, no. Touchdown. No. I think it touched Aiden Hammontree. He was doing a good job blocking, but the ball rolls up on Aiden, hits him in the leg, and Tinora picks it up inside Liberty's 40.
That was Aiden Talent.
Yep, number 9.
Not Hammontree.
I'm sorry, Aiden Talent, correct.
Yeah, that sounds like a spike move there.
Yeah.
You know, there's sometimes bad breaks. You're blocking. The ball is punted short.
Yeah,
yep.
I think they're talking about it. Nobody threw the beanbag. Yeah. Nobody threw the beanbag.
I'm surprised because it did roll up on Aiden Talent. He did touch it, and Tinora did grab it. But I think they're talking about it here.
Yep.
I couldn't tell that the ball hit him. I didn't see it deflect. It did, though. Okay.
I was thinking Aiden Hammontree, last year's great tight end for Liberty, but
yep, they gave it to Tinora.
All right, now Tinora's got the ball. 38 seconds. It's on the Liberty Center 37-yard line. Tiger defense needs to rise again. They'll throw to the sideline. That's going to be low and incomplete.
They are triple teaming Landon Bockelman, so that's going to open up some rush lanes for any blitzers And we need to get some pressure here off of Landon. Seth Navarre checking out. Liberty getting some guys in this game. Number 74 checks in. Hunter Spangler.
All right, out of the gun. Drops back 2 steps. Looks. Going to throw it up there, and that's going to be incomplete. Nope. There's a few fans wanted interference. That was good coverage. They had him double teamed.
Again, Landon Bockelman made a hit on the quarterback. It came through the triple team that time.
Tell you what, I think that they're looking for pressure, and I think, you know, with Landon Bockelman getting so much attention, that should open up some opportunities for Zander and this number 74 Hunter Spangler, but good coverage by the secondary there.
Do you try to pick up or make a blitz, call a blitz play with that in mind,
Right,
or do you do it with
receivers.
other pressure?
You got 4 receivers. You want some in the middle of the field right now. We're playing cover right now.
All right, little quarterback draw. Tries to head up the field. Gets down inside the 30-yard line to the 29. Pick up of 9 yards on the play. And now Tinora calls a timeout with 19 seconds. 3rd down and 1 at the Tiger 29.
And Tinora, I believe, can kick a field goal. Now, this would be a little bit deeper than what they'd hope, a 46-yarder, but they've got an opportunity to get it within at least range and a lead if they can get it within, I think, about the 20-yard line they're looking at. But that'll give them a first down. But this clock is running. They've got 1 timeout left to get this field goal unit on the field.
Right, yeah, 19, that'd be 36 yards. And the wind is just now picked back up again at the Tinora Rams' back. So a little bit of help there possibly. Not a strong wind by any means, but
it's definitely died down from the early part of the game, but
Tinora is, looks like they're going to go for it here. I would imagine they'll try to send people deep and then throw a little drag route underneath. Back to throw on 4th and 1. Waits, throws to the sideline. Too high. Incomplete. Liberty Center stops him again.
That's a gutsy call because he was just running a little Z route out there.
Yeah.
Wasn't very open.
I think what they were trying to get done is get a first down and get the ball to the middle of the field. They're going to have a timeout left to kick the ball, but, you know, they did not convert on that 4th down. The defensive backfield, Casey's put in some different coverage schemes, and I like what I'm seeing in terms of how they've tightened it up.
On the fly.
Yes.
All right, now the Tigers come out with 15 seconds. I don't imagine see anything here yet. They'll just take a knee, and that will end this first half. 15-14, Liberty Center on the strength of that 2-point conversion as they turned into a great play. And in a back-and-forth game with a lot of issues, we'll say, both sides, both teams. We'll head for half.
I'll be very anxious to see some of the adjustments Liberty makes on offense. But give Tinora a lot of credit. Their defensive game plan has worked for the most part, stopping Liberty's dominant run game, even though Liberty did have a nice drive to end the half. But what I saw was what I was afraid of, that passing game and that quarterback, Dominic Graziano, doing a great job. And I think the Tinora fans feel like they're in a football game that maybe most people thought they wouldn't be. So tip your cap to the Rams, but Liberty does take an important lead to half.
All right, we'll go ahead and break this halftime slot here, and we'll broadcast the band. So we're going to just turn the camera on the field, and we'll open up a field mic, and we'll be back right after this.
Sing the high notes if you dare. I used to. Get ready to jump into your comic books as we play Take On Me by Aha from 1983. Drum major, Reese Kessler. Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Liberty Center Tiger Marching Band. Here's some more Red Magic from 1983. Our second song's artist famously wore some of the coolest sunglasses ever designed while he played piano, and he just recently retired after playing concerts for over 50 years. The song is one of the favorites for the band when dancing against each other on the video game. The artist, formerly known as Captain Fantastic, and Daniel was his brother. Just dance, this is Elton John's I'm Still Standing. Now we flip the calendar ahead to 1986. Speaking of sunglasses, do you ever feel like putting them on, rolling down the window, and turning up the music? Well, maybe it's because you feel the need for speed, just like Goose and Maverick. Rev up your engine, listen to her howl and roar as the band dogfights on the field to the danger zone. Marching Tigers are under the direction of Mr. Win Leatherman, Assistant Bryce Trapp, and Major Ed Advisor Rachel Lewis-Al. They would like to thank the Tinora Marching Rams for their hospitality this evening, and Liberty Center Music Boosters, and the Liberty Center community for always being their biggest fans. Thank you for being a wonderful audience, and as always, go Tigers!
The Tinora Marching Band would like to welcome you to our 2023 halftime show. The band is under the direction of David Middleton, Assistant Band Director Hallie Hamilton, Guard Instructor Megan Wiles, and Twirler Instructor Dory Robertson. The Rams are led onto the field by Senior Drum Majors Erica Ahmed and Tanae Smith. Tonight, we present our Broadway favorite show. Our first show is the title track off the 1984 film and 1998 Broadway hit Footloose. Get ready to lose your blues and kick off your Sunday shoes as we cut Footloose. Changing styles from the upbeat pop of Footloose, we are now going to perform the title song from Broadway's longest-running show in history. A dark tale of love, jealousy, beauty, and redemption. Here is Phantom of the Opera. We return now to the pop styles of 1960s R&B hits with the musical Hairspray. When it debuted in 2002, the musical won 8 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Enjoy as we shake and shimmy to You Can't Stop the Beat.
Thursday's harder for me than Friday. I wish we could get Friday. Friday, long time going. Friday, that's all right. If you can. Yeah, Thursday's harder, yeah. Go ahead and do it, huh? Well, we did. We finally
We hope you enjoyed our show this evening. We welcome back out our football team and hope you enjoy the rest of the game. Go Rams!
All right, we're back here, the second half from Justin Caressel Stadium. The Tinora Rams 14, our Liberty Center Tigers 15. And Scott, some interesting stats, I'm sure.
Yeah, even Steven Tinora came to play tonight, guys. I know that this new coaching staff has got these guys ready to play, and they're doing a great job. Eric Becker's group standing toe-to-toe with Liberty Center. Total yards, Liberty Center slight advantage, 149 to 132. Liberty Center 8 first downs, Tinora 9. So Tinora doing a really good job and really efficient job on offense against Liberty's really good vaunted defense. Rushing yards, Liberty Center 83. Colton Cruz 9 rushes for 59 yards. Liberty Center's defense up front has stopped the rush. Tinora with only 20 yards rushing. The difference is the passing game. We knew that could be a potential vulnerability, and Tenora's done a great job. Dominic Graziano is 5 for 10 for 112 yards and had a really good first half against Liberty Center's defensive backfield. As we did tighten it up late, so there was some passes I think our defensive backfield shut down. Liberty Center 2 for 4 for 66 yards, and that big touchdown to Colton Chambers was a big play for us. Big stat for Liberty Center, 1 for 6 on third downs, guys, and there was 2 turnovers in that first half and a poor snap to give Tinora all kinds of field position. So Liberty maybe not playing as efficient at the top of their game. They're going to need a much better second half to get this game under control, Spike.
Yeah. You know, again, some of the mistakes we're making now won't continue to happen. But like you say, it's a shorter preseason, first game of the year, and what better time is to realize, okay, we need to grow in this area. We need to improve over here. And so the mistakes bring this out to everybody's attention, the realization, the Saturday morning film sessions with the team, you know, and they can talk about these things. The players can see what went wrong. They can know what they need to adjust. And so a mistake sometimes isn't the worst thing in the world if you grow from it, if you learn from it.
Well, I think to your point, you saw the coaching staff. There wasn't a lot of yelling and screaming down there. You saw the coaches talking to the units, talking to the individuals. Casey Moeller, excellent teacher. He's a teacher in the classroom. Ryan Miller, a good teacher in the classroom. You've got actual educators on this staff, Paul Amstutz, etc. So let's see if Liberty Center can grow from that first half. Here we go, Max Walker with a big kickoff.
Line all the way down to the goal line, and they say he was into the end zone, and that'll bring it out to the 20.
And Max Walker just crushed that ball.
Wow.
That has got a very powerful leg, Spike. Excellent punter. We got a gem in Max Walker on special teams.
Yeah, that was nothing but line drive. His kickoff early, you know, didn't have that same. I think it's just jitters. Get out there, get your feet wet, and we saw Max deliver a big blow there.
Let's see if Liberty Center's defense can get a stop here in this very important first possession of the second half.
All right, Zeider in there at nose guard. You got Bachman and Navarre out there at defensive tackles. They live a little cross, but quarterback rolling right. Nowhere to go. He's going to be hit in the backfield for a loss. 2 yards.
Zach Weaver strung that play out, and on the backside, Seth Navarre, you know, he's a defensive end, but he ran like a defensive back. Really athletic play on the backside. Perfect job schematically for that play, tackle for loss. Zach Weaver, Seth Navarre, and a whole host of Tigers. Negative play on that first play of the second half. Great job, Liberty's defense.
Oh, you can be on the air. There I go again.
Well, he's the, you know, we got the boss here, Mark Bly. We don't know whether he's on air or off air, but we do know who the boss is.
Oh, he's definitely on air, believe me. All right, now a little pitch inside reverse. Not going anywhere again. Stopped right there. No gain on the play. Heads up tackle.
Liberty Center defensive line. Number 19, Waylon Rentz.
Waylon Rentz filled the hole.
Now this defense now, those first two snaps, Spike, Rex Slinger would talk about making plays and making tackles. The defensive line is making plays. Linebackers making tackles.
Oh, I love that little analogy. Wow. All right. 3rd down and 12 now for the Rams back at their own 18-yard line. They send out a double receiver to each side. Single setback, quarterback out of the gun. 2-step drop, looks, throws the home run ball. That's not even close. Excellent coverage by Grady Miller, who ran stride for stride with the receiver upfield.
Yeah, Casey Moeller talks about loving Grady Miller's length. And I'll tell you, that's where Tinora got a lot of mileage with some length, but you're starting to see some evolution in this defensive backfield in the way Casey wants to cover. The last 3 or 4 balls Tinora has thrown, Liberty has covered it very well. Landon Cruz over the top with his support there. Excellent adjustments by this staff, Spike, against Tenora's passing game.
All right, back deep for Liberty Center, Cam Colley and Landon Cruz, I think.
Oh, that punt is blocked.
Oh, my, I missed that.
Number 50, great job, Max Walker. Gets a great kickoff to start the half and then blocks a punt. Liberty Center in business inside Tenora's 20-yard line. Great job by Max Walker.
Wow.
Fantastic Liberty Center special teams.
Where was he lined up?
He was inside the tackle and broke free.
Oh, broke straight up the middle.
I mean, made a nice move off the snap.
Who the deep return people were. Wow.
Max Walker, great job on the kickoff spike to pin him deep. Liberty's defense stood up, and Walker with the block.
Yes.
Great job by Liberty special teams.
All right. Cruz in the backfield. Now play action. Miller got a man open there. Caught by Chambers inside the 10-yard line down to the 8. That's a Tiger first down.
That's a great catch by Colton Chambers. All hands. That ball was getting to the sidelines. He reaches out and snatches it. The Chambers boys generationally from Leighton to Christian to Colton. Fantastic hands.
Yes.
Good throw by Grady. Liberty now in business.
All right. 1st and goal for Liberty from the 7-yard line. You got Colton Cruz behind the quarterback. Trent offset to the right. Give to Trent straight up the middle, and maybe a yard on the play. They're going to give him a couple down to the 5.
Tinora continues to move that front, get in gaps, blitz secondaries, guys just getting their nose to the ball. You know, Casey talked about it. We had a lot of conversation how Tinora rallies to the football, all levels, defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, and they have done a very good job. Liberty, though, at the 5-yard line looking to cash in.
2nd and goal from the 5. You got Landon Cruz spread out wide over here. Chambers in the slot on the right side. Double set back. Give straight ahead. First Cruz and pound down. He's close. He's in. He's in. Yes, it's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. A Liberty Center Tiger score. And they now go on top 21-14.
Colton Cruz, you're just not going to bring him down with arm tackles. He just drove through the pile for the last 2.5 yards, and I'll tell you, he smelled the goal line and finished that run.
Yes.
Great job by the right side of the offensive line. Excellent lead blocking. Hat on hat, Liberty Center won that battle. Great job by the Tigers. Good response.
All right. The snap, good hold. Kick is up. It's long enough. It's high enough and good.
Just a picture-perfect way, Spike and Mark, to start a second half. A rocky first half, but again, we talked about it. We looked over the back fence here. We're on the roof here at Tinora, and the coaches, not a lot of yelling and screaming, a lot of teaching, a lot of patience. Excellent response here, first drive, both on offense and defense by Liberty Center.
Well, and that's what Casey knew this was going to happen. I mean, you were placing some hallmark ball players,
yes,
and kids that didn't get, varsity reps just because of that. He knew that they were going to have to evolve quickly, but under control.
Just a great job by Liberty Center special teams. Max Phillips. We talked about it, Spike, last year. Max Walker. I've been saying Max Phillips all night long. Max Walker last year basically put Archbold on their heels all night long. Tonight, he puts Tinora on their heels again with a great kickoff and then breaks through with a punt. Just fantastic job.
And if you're out there related to the kids that we'll get it. We'll get it. This is game number
first
one.
Game. I've been saying Max. And I've been saying the wrong Max all night.
Let's look at a comparison. Liberty turned the ball over late in the first half and held them without allowing a score. Liberty Center gets a turnover, in a manner of speaking, and they chalk it up.
Wow, ball is crushed.
That's
not even.
Whoa.
5 yards deep into the end zone. Wow, what a boomer.
I'll tell you, Max Walker is a weapon himself. We're going to have a KK Collision player of the game, defensive player of the game, and offensive player of the game. The way Max Walker has started this second half for Liberty Center, wow. Put him in the running, but again, fantastic job. Max just crushed that ball 10 yards deep in the end zone.
Hey, there's no campaigning, Mr. Barrett.
I ain't campaigning, man. I'm just calling a spade a spade. That's fantastic play by number 50, Max Walker.
Yes, sir.
All right, now Liberty Center with that 8-point lead. 22-14, 9.5 to go. Here's third quarter. Tinora with the same double wide out formation. They try to go off tackle. He bounces off one, but the Tigers rally to the ball and gang tackle him for maybe 2 yards at the most.
Yeah, I've talked a lot about Tinora rallying to the ball. Spike, Liberty Center rallied to that ball. I don't know who made the tackle, but there
Trenton Cruz.
7 dudes. Trenton Cruz in there, a bunch of guys just getting it done. Liberty looks a lot more inspired here on defense in the second half.
Yeah, again, first game jitters, the mentality part of sports is so crucial, so critical. And win the mind game, and once you've got that under control, all that hard work just comes to fruition. All right, trip receivers, now they set a man in motion to the opposite side. Out of the gun, straight drop, in trouble, has to scramble, beats one man,
there's
another, and smacked by a single digit. That's another loss.
Yeah, Trent Cruz finishes it off, but that was all Xander Zeiter.
Yep.
Xander flashed. Graziani had nowhere to go, gets out of the pocket, and then Trent Cruz closes and finishes. Excellent job by Xander Zeiter, who has a fantastic game. If I'm to campaign, I've got some guys I'm campaigning for. Xander Zeiter, great job.
Scott Barrett on the campaign trail already.
No campaigning. Wait a minute.
All right, third down and 11 for the Rams. Out of the gun, straight drop. Has time, throws a home run ball, and it's overthrown, incomplete. Again, terrific coverage downfield.
And again, Xander Zeiter again in the backfield.
Yeah, Cam Colley.
Yeah,
Cam Colley struggled early, and the last 4 balls that have gone Cam Colley's side, step for step, almost a determination that I'm not going to get beat here. Liberty's defense allowing Tinora 0 yards, forcing them to punt again. They're going to punt this ball inside.
Yeah, inside
about the 5-yard line. Liberty again is going to get great field position. Much more inspired football by Liberty Center on both sides of the ball.
All right, 2 Tigers back deep at the 45-yard line. Punt high, short, and bounces on the ground.
It hit the Tinora player.
It hit number 9. Trenton Delabar
at the 49-yard line.
Liberty Center is going to get great field position inside the Tinora 50, my guess would be. We'll see where they got the marker, but Casey Muller's got to be very happy, Spike, with how Liberty has responded to that rocky first half.
You know, that's the second punt by Tinora that's been a rather short punt.
Yep.
It hits, and now that time it hit their guy. But, you know, those are dangerous. They hit, and then they take off. And like the one time we had a blocker, or, you know, that got hit by the ball. So those kind of things sometimes are dangerous. All right, double wide out for Liberty to the far side, the Tiger side of the field in the I formation. Give it to the second back. Colton Cruz kicks it outside. Great downfield block. Now runs over a tackler. Still going. Pounding and down to the 30-yard line. What a ball carrier.
Number 24, Colton Chambers with a big-time block out of the wing, and then Colton Cruz. I mean, that's just a big boy run right there, Spike. It's a big boy run. Big boy block by Colton Chambers and a big boy run by Colton Cruz.
Brought his lunch pail to work tonight.
Yeah, that was a great block.
That was a man blocker.
Maybe that's what we give player of the game, a hard hat and a lunchbox.
Well, I like that. That's a big-time play right there.
I like that too, Cappy. All right, Miller under center. Now back to throw. Play action. Has a man out there. Overthrows him.
I like the play action. I think that ball's got to have a little bit more air, a little bit more touch. You know, I think Grady's growing as a thrower. He's made some good throws tonight. That one may need a little bit more air. He had him wide open. Could have been for a big play. But, again, as you have said over and over, Spike, there's got to be patience. You know, when you're replacing guys like Zane Zeider, Grady's starting to look a little bit more poised under center. So
exactly. I like that.
I'm seeing it. That's
poised.
Good growth here.
All right, back out of the gun. I'm sorry. Snap goes through. He's going to have to fall on it. Gets back there. Does the wise thing. Even though the Tigers lose 15 yards, he got control of the ball, and Liberty holds possession here. That's big.
Yeah, there's been some snapping problems. That's the third snap tonight that's gone awry for Liberty Center. One on a punt, one on a motion of a regular set, and that one right there out of shotgun. So, again, Liberty Center, you know, kind of gaining control here in the second half, but a play like that gives you 3rd and 26. Anxious to see what Liberty Center comes up with here.
All right, we got Aiden Talent, and I believe Cruz spread out wide. Tigers have trip receivers over here. Miller's going to run out of the quarterback sneak, takes on a tackler, picks up about 6, coming back the other way to the 40-yard line.
You might see Grady running the football a little more here in the second half. It was a power keep late in the second half. He gained 10-plus yards on. That looked like a play that we ran a lot last year with Zane, so good job by Grady getting some plus yardage and giving Max Walker a chance to punt them inside the 10.
Rents the up back here. Good snap, gets it up, floats it high, spiraling, hits the 6, and boy, that takes off on a shot into the end zone. So the ball will be brought out to the 20.
Okay, guys, I got a funny, right? So there's some people out there watching tonight, and they have closed caption turned on. And believe it or not, the closed caption cannot keep up with Spike Whitman.
The closed caption is no match. What do they got for Saccaroni? Or Saccarino, whatever that is. I want to know what they got on the closed caption there. Saccarino.
The closed caption cannot decipher Spike Whitman's call on the game.
He's a legend, guys. He's a legend.
All right, double wide out to either side for the Rams. Now motion to the far side of the field. Quarterback gives it on keeps it around the end, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. Smack!
40.
Such a smackerino.
Zach Weaver having a ball game on that outside linebacker position. Another big-time tackle. He's stringing those plays out, Spike, keeping that outside arm open. Great technique and a great finish. Excellent job by number 40, Zach Weaver.
You know, you brought this point up earlier. I don't know, it was maybe early, midway in the second quarter. It looked like everything, and you used the word poise for Grady, but that it just seems the professionalism seemed to take over. I can't put my finger on it.
Oh.
But somehow with the adjustments, and now Liberty Center tuned in. Liberty Center up tight to the ball. Give up the middle, and that's going nowhere. A little bit of a draw-type play, a little delay, and that goes maybe 2 yards. Did Liberty read something there? Because they had about 9 men up in the box.
I don't know. I think Landon Smith in that tackle, too, getting some reps inside. I think basically two things that I saw early in that first half. We didn't look as inspired as I would wanted to. I didn't feel the energy or the intensity. And second, I just think that the attention to detail wasn't there early, but it is absolutely there now. Liberty Center defensively starting to lock Tinora down.
All right. 3rd down and 10 for the Rams at the 20-yard line. Rolling out. Has time, throws way upfield, and knocked away. What a play! What a job there by Colley. Cam Colley got a hand on the ball. What a job reaching the left hand across the body, knocking it away, and the Tigers with that double team force an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think I made a mistake. It's number 64, Noah Jensen. Got into the game at nose guard and really pushed that center and had a couple really nice plays, but good job again by the defensive backfield. Liberty now starting to make more and more plays out of their coverage, and I like what I'm seeing.
And
good
the
job.
Ball hawk, Landon Cruz.
Yeah, you don't want to throw it anywhere near number 8.
All right, so Tinora forced to punt again here in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 10, standing back at his 5. Short little bunt, Pooch. Takes a Tinora roll, no, picked up, and a gutsy play there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thomas Moeller.
Moeller, I tell you what, he came within an eyelash of making a fantastic recovery. Picked that up and decided he might turn it up, and he was close.
A Kurt Silvis flashback there.
Yes, you're right, Captain. Good call.
You know, Kurt Silvis, one of the all-time greats.
He'd do that all the time.
I say that a lot, but Kurt was pretty spectacular. I think Kurt also welcomed another child into this world this week.
Fearless.
He was a great football player, those Silvis boys. Whew.
All right, now Miller under center. Tigers shift over. They put Brooks Bainfeld tight end on the left. Chambers the wing on the left side. They're going to power it that way with Colton Cruz. Kicks it outside. Great ankle tackle. That looked like that was big yardage, but held to 2 yards on a good Tinora
number 76 for Tinora.
Caden Radzik, number 1 and 76. Landon Newsom, probably their best interior defender. He's made some plays tonight. That play, Spike, you're right, was going for big yards. That was a wide trap, a 7 trap that kind of happens in that tight end tackle hole, but good job by Tinora closing that down for a couple of yards.
All right, Tigers now in an I formation. They shift out of that, move Bainfeld tight end on the right. Chambers the wing on the right. Give straight up the middle, breaks one tackle, still pounding, raising the legs, keeps going. Trent Cruz at the 20, the 20, the
touchdown.
15, the 10, 5, and rolls into the end zone, and Liberty Center does it again. It's a Tiger touchdown.
Little inside trap. Trent Cruz hits it as quick as a guy can hit it. Awesome job of the interior offensive line. Excellent job by Clayton Cruz. Clayton Seal, super job blocking interior right there. And then Trenton just ran through a bunch of tackles and then really put on another gear to finish that run.
Wow, that guy was dancing and prancing, picking them up and laying them down. That's the running back drill where you keep picking them feet up. And that time, buddy, he showed him the kitchen sink.
And both guards and center, fantastic blocking. No good on the extra point.
Floats off to the left, no good. Now, it has no bearing on that particular play, but I'm trying to pick up the long snapper on the extra point.
Cruz, number 8.
That's right, Landon Cruz.
Cruz
You're
has
right,
been the long
Captain.
snapper
You nailed
tonight.
it earlier.
Tell you what, I like what I see. Interior line blocking on those traps, and then Trenton Cruz just took over. Buzzsaw, keeping those knees high, old school like you called it. Fantastic job, Liberty Center now starting to impose their will up front. Kind of what you'd expect in a game like this, but Liberty's special teams and defense has given Liberty Center's offense short fields to work from. So again, Max Walker's been a big part of that, and our defense has answered the bell here in the second half, Spike.
Oh, I mean, and this is phenomenal. The Liberty's offense showed promise on several occasions in that first half, but Tinora was making plays. They were doing things. But as this well-oiled machine took another shot of WD-40, we'll say, it is really coming into focus now with the precision, the timing, and the power.
Is WD stand for Walker Dominated?
Walker Dominated. Woo! Captain, that's only something that you could come up with.
Well, you know, I don't have to really talk much. I can just take snippets.
No, you're a oh boy, yes, a snippet.
Hey,
yes.
The closed caption can follow me. Right?
All right, another boomer. He did it again. That one's 5 yards deep in the end zone again by Walker. Incredible.
I'm going to make an old reference here, but you guys remember either the $6 million man or the Bionic Woman.
Yeah,
you got these old school, dramas on, but these super legs, super strength. I tell you what, Max Walker reminds me of the Bionic Man. This guy's just drilling balls in the end zone.
Man.
Big time leg strength. Wow. Good job by Max Walker. Second half,
and
he's taking it over.
Walker that blocked the punt.
Yes.
Wow. All right, 3:12 left here in the third quarter. 28-14, Tigers on top. All right, back to throw. Looks upfield, throws a home run ball, and again, nobody home. Colton Chambers, terrific coverage, stride for stride with him. No way they were going to complete the bomb. Boy, the adjustments have been wonderful.
Yeah, Colton Chambers in coverage there, one of our top athletes, and I'm not exactly sure what Casey and the staff came up with, but late in that second half, you started seeing a lot of over-the-top safety help, much better matchups. You got number one Grady Miller out here on a tall receiver, so they've got some answers. Give the staff a lot of credit for the adjustments.
Yeah, Weaver came out on a ball carrier. Now they're going to give it off the left side. Not much running through. Trent Cruz covers quickly, makes the tackle after a about a 2-yard gain.
Now, Tenora's offense, if they're going to rely on inside run against Liberty Center's interior line, Spike, there's not a lot of pay dirt in there. They made a lot of bones throwing the football up the numbers and outside the hashes, and that has been controlled here by Casey and the defensive staff. Matt Bryant obviously came up with a very good adjustment to stop their passing game. Good job by Liberty Center, the staff, and the defensive backfield.
All right, 3rd down and 6. Tinora with trip receivers to the wide side by the Tigers. Now rolling right. They actually tackle our guy back there. Now throws away upfield, and I believe he got
the ball hawk. Landon Cruz.
Center fielder on the baseball team, center fielder on the football team. Interception.
That's a second pick by Dominic Graziani. He's looking down the field, man, to make something happen. He hasn't had many completions outside of that first quarter. I told you throw it anywhere near Landon Cruz, and you're asking for trouble. Liberty with a big turnover, and now has a chance to really take control of this football game. Up 28-14 with 2:16 to go in the third.
All right, Tigers spread wide out over here, standing at the ball at the 40-yard line. Now motion this way. They're going to run a jet sweep, turns it back up the middle. Chambers, I imagine, was on the call. He'll pick up 3 yards.
Tripped up by the Larber.
Now Liberty Center wants to run this football and drain the blood out of this clock, Spike. You're going to see a lot of handoffs and a lot of command and control, I think, of the defensive line of Tinora. See if they get these guys worn down. Tinora, smaller roster, 37 guys. This is where Liberty's strength and depth really come into play.
All right, Miller under center. Handoff, second back, coming through, wide to right, open spaces, breaks a tackle, still pounding, puts his head down, picks up first down yardage, but a flag in the Tiger backfield.
All the way on the other side, away from the play.
Good job, though. Now, number 63, Stephen Brogan, leading that play. Great block. He's had a really good night tonight blocking for Liberty Center's offensive line.
I think they're going to get him for holding. Scott.
Ouch.
Brogan?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, Brogan made the play here. That flag was on the ground before he even got started, but you might be right.
No call yet.
Shot block. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Goes
my.
against the defense.
And the guy all the way on the other side of the field called it.
Wow. I'm going to need some replay to see how that happened because you got a line judge making that call before the play even got to the point of attack. So, hey, we'll take it. Big penalty goes against Tinora.
Hey, we're gonna need to stay on the clock for people. Our scoreboard cameras didn't like the lighting now. I don't know. Not being at home is a disadvantage because we've got the technology at Liberty. So.
All right, well, a minute and a half left here in the third quarter, 28-14. And
big 15-yard penalty.
Wow, after the end of the play, so that ball now all the way down to the Tinora 34. Miller out of shotgun. Single setback. They fake the handoff. Got him over the middle. Caught by Chambers. Breaks the tackle. Still hit now and pounds his way forward. 14 yards on the play. And it's a Tiger first down.
I like that throw, too. It kind of threw him open. Chambers had to reach to get that ball on that cut. Gave him a little bit of juice as he went after that ball. A little separation. Good throw. That. Good throw by Grady. And an excellent catch by Colton Chambers. Those two have good chemistry. You throw that ball anywhere near Colton, he's going to snatch it.
Oh, what hands. All right, now Miller again out of shotgun. Double wide out to the short side of the field. Ball drop, picks it up, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. Loss of about 8 on the play.
Still some miscues on snaps. Liberty's got a lot to look at on film here. They're really putting together a great second half, but staff is probably going to take a long look at the center snap exchanges, some of the timing, some of the ball handling, but that's about the only thing you could say in the second half, Spike, where we've struggled a little bit on some snaps because everything else has been right on time and right on cue.
Now, you may not see this again, but I believe at least 2 cruises were not on the field for that play, but they're all back.
There are 4 of them now, Spike.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now, out of the eye, give to the second back. Colton Chambers breaks one.
Cruz.
Colton Cruz.
I'm sorry. And pounds forward, down for about 12 yards on the play. Wow, that goes from second and long to third and short.
Off tackle, straight up blocking. This is, again, where Liberty Center's offensive line now starts to really grind on Tinora. Liberty in control. Great run by Colton Cruz.
Hey, while we got a break in the action, let's thank our sponsors because, ladies and gentlemen, without these people, these broadcasts simply cannot happen. KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, STN Design, Affinity IT Group, 3Chord, Davis Farms, Swanton Welding, Pam and Dick Leatherman, Pisanello's Pizza, and the Gerald Grain Center. And again, thank you guys very much for your support. And again, without these people, the broadcasts simply do not happen. Hey, and once again, I know we've got our sponsors for the entire year for our broadcast here, but if you'd like to help out with Tiger Sports Live, we have the Tiger Sports Live Foundation now, and it's something new this year. We are a 501c3 or 3C3, category 3. So everything is tax deductible. The foundation's mission is to grow Tiger Sports Live in our community for our students in the Liberty Center School District and to get them more involved, more tools for them to get, geared up, juiced up, ready to go. And, if you'd like to contribute to that, we'll have more information for you, but you can get a hold of Scott Barrett, Mark Bly, Dick. No, not Digger.
I was wondering when you mentioned his name.
Digger's busy. He's coaching cross country. You can get a hold of us, and we'll take care of that for you.
All right. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Somebody jumped. I don't think they got the call. Handoff for Rentz. Rentz off the right side.
There you go, Waylon Rentz.
3, 2, 1. Into the end zone again. It's another Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Offensive line now grinding on all cylinders here, Waylon Rentz. If you don't get a couple bodies on number 19, you got no shot. That guy is an absolute Mack truck. Great hold by the offensive line, but really good run by Waylon Rentz. And Spike, Liberty Center's offensive line is now starting to put A lot of physicality. The things we expected to see from this team, you're starting to see them now.
Well, I'll tell you what, the conditioning that these guys do is incredible during practice. I'll get to that. All right, some low snap. Good grab by Amstutz. Set down good. Kick on the way. Good! Ian Rosebrock pounds it through again. And now Liberty Center solidly in the lead at the just starting the fourth quarter. Their Tigers are on top, 35-14.
You know, guys, when we talked to Casey Moeller and to Coach Becker, right? Eric
Yes.
Becker. You know, they both talked about the consistency of Liberty's conditioning and having to play in the end of the third and the fourth quarter. And Coach Becker even said, you know, one of the things, he's not going to have these bullying big guys, so these smaller guys are going to have to fly around quite a bit. And conditioning, you know, he knew. He even, you know, he alluded to that in the interview. He said that's going to be something that we've got to address, and we've got to do that quickly.
To your point, Mark, it's a great point you make. The first half, Tinora did that.
Yeah.
They were flying to the ball. That secondary was doing a great job of stuffing holes, getting in that C gap. The Liberty Center now is starting to really take hold up front in that offensive line.
And a lot of that has to do with conditioning and what I'll call numbers. You know, just flat-out numbers. Liberty was 68 kids on the roster. What did Coach?
37.
37 kids on the Tinora roster.
Yeah, just Liberty now starting to impose their will. Something we anticipated coming into this game has come to fruition.
All right, Walker to kick off. Another long one. That's going to come down at the, wow, still loose.
It looked like
There's
a long
no
onside
signal.
kick. You know, that could have been a ball that Liberty recovered right on the half-yard line.
That ball was down. It hit around the 3-yard line. What another tremendous kickoff by Walker.
I tell you, Max Walker having a great night. I ain't campaigning, but Max Walker, my guys, has done a lot of great things and has really spurred Liberty Center in the second half. He really has. It's been kind of an inspiration, but punny block to these kickoffs are boomers.
Let me see if we have a train whistle on our soundboard for the campaign trail.
Whistle stop.
That's right.
All right. The Rams with another wide formation. They give it straight up the middle. That ain't going nowhere at all. Forget about that. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, if Tinora is going to revert to trying to run the ball in the interior of Liberty Center's defense, there's just not much there for them except clock running and this game being over. Tinora is going to have to make something big like they did early in that first half, but great job by this staff. Corralling that deep pass.
Well, and watch the Tinora linemen get up. They're wobbling, they're huffing, they're holding their jerseys.
Yeah, and the Tiger coaches talk about that very thing in practice and conditioning. All right, give off the Tinora left side. They're going to pick up about 5 on the play. That'll bring up third down and about 5. No, the conditioning, it's merciless. It's driving. It's cruel. But these coaches put the players through some of the hardest running and just wind sprints after the game, and then they'll run long distance, and then they challenge them. They tear them apart verbally, and they force those guys to accept the fact this is what we have to do to be successful. All right, back to throw on third down. Lofts it high, got a man out there, and again, double coverage. Terrific job. That was Colley again with great pressure and help from Zach Weaver, number 40.
Zach Weaver's had a heck of a second half on defense, and that time in coverage. The thing I liked about Cam Colley's there, Cam Colley got his head turned. That first half, he gave up a couple throws that he didn't get his head turned. Now he's whipping that head around. He's doing a great job of going man-to-man, sticking right on his hip. Liberty Center's had 2 white jerseys for every green one you see.
Yeah,
that's called coaching adjustment, Spike. Great job.
Guys, okay. I took the scoreboard camera down. I couldn't stand the color non-correction, so we'll have to stay on the scoreboard for people.
Yes.
Okay, 10.5 minutes now left in this game, and it's 35-14. Tinora with a 4th and 5. and we've got a timeout down on the field.
I wanted to speak, if I could, Mark, a little bit to the foundation. And one thing to remember, something that we came up with in the offseason, as Mark talked about this foundation, I think it's a great opportunity for us to give back to our community and back to our school. And being a 501c3, we have a board now of people that direct our expenditures. And this is a free broadcast. Last year, over what, 78? What was the number?
78,600 loads. So nobody watches this by themselves.
I mean,
right. Yeah, there's going to be maybe it's just a grandma and grandpa, or it might be a whole family, 5 or 6, or it's going to be several of the good old boys sitting around the campfire with a couple of Red Pops.
And none of us up here are on any kind of salary. All this is volunteer work. We're doing it for the community. We're doing it to get our kids involved in school. So I think the foundation is a great opportunity to help us grow and develop not only talent within the school, but everybody can participate in this broadcast.
Well, and we're bringing some new broadcasters in, and developing some students. We've got some meetings with the school going on, and they've bought into it. And teachers and the administration, we've talked a lot about it. So, it's a great opportunity. We're building a recording studio for the students, for us, for the community. We're going to have an open house during Fall Fest. A lot of good things that we're doing for the Liberty Center community and the students in our district.
Well, one other thing, quick, before we get back to action. The fact is, you've had kids in this booth working for a few years. Now it's more formalized, and we're going to develop more talent.
Absolutely.
All right, Miller under center, double wing. Now motion this way. Give to the second back. Power straight ahead. And now Liberty Center is establishing their superiority at the line of scrimmage, and they're happy with that plus 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming.
That's good to see Landon Amstutz back in this game, coming off an injury. He's at quarterback, Xander Zeider at fullback. So a lot of the first teamers now going to start getting a breather. This was a hard-fought game, and particularly in that first half, but Liberty's taken complete control. Now the reps pile up for some of those second-teamers here.
Jackson Bartels in the game. Give straight ahead on a quick hitter, and that'll be Moeller picks up about 3 on the play.
Moeller, the ball carrier, brought down by Landon Newsom.
Okay.
Well, nothing better now than to watch this clock just drain. Pick up a couple first downs, Spike, and Liberty Center can put this in the W column. I'll tell you what, this was one heck of a football game in the first half. Tinora really came. You said it. They were inspired. They came to play. Great energy by this new staff and these kids.
All right, pitch sweep outside. Running room there. Breaks a tackle. Dives forward for about 7 on the play. The Tigers move the chains.
Number 33, Xander Zeider.
That was Zeider?
Yeah, toss sweep.
Wow, had some moves.
Yeah, Xander had a great night on defense, and now he's going to wear down this Tinora front. It's hard to bring a guy that size, that nimble. He reminds me a little bit of trying to think through maybe a guy named Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
But more so a Sean Westoven. Kind of a bigger guy, but great feet. Remember Sean, he was a very good running back.
Get to the second back, makes a great cut behind the block, cuts it back across the green and across the 50-yard line.
Good cut by Thomas Moeller. Great job by Thomas Moeller, but even better job by the guys up front. Bockelman has had a great night. Brogan's had a great night. Seth Navarre's had a great night. We've had a lot of good blocking here in the second half. Those guys have really established the line of scrimmage, and they are pushing Tinora all over the field here as we get on in the fourth quarter.
I love Moeller's running ability. He sees the defense.
Good vision.
He follows his blocking well. He's been consistent that way last year. There's your straight ahead running room, pounding right up the middle, down to the 40-yard line. A gain of about 9 on the play. The Tigers keep the chains a-rolling.
Yeah, you get Xander Zeider in that second, third level, and those DBs for Tinora were hot early. They were hot getting after you, but I think we're wearing them down. Xander Zeider there finishing a punishing runoff.
Yep. All right, 7:40, clock running here in the fourth quarter. And we'll remind you now that Amstutz at quarterback, under center. Motion coming this way. He'll give to the second back. That is going to be Colley. Was that Colley?
Nope. It'll be Thomas Moeller again.
Moeller again. I'm sorry. Single digit. Pickup of about 3. Moeller, I started to go there. Last year looked really good, as on the JVs and the freshmen. He follows blocking well. He has a sense for a running back mentality and ability. All right, second down, 8. Colley now spread out wide to this side. Wing right set with the tight end on the right. Under center. Now motion. Setting up the jet sweep. Cuts it back up the middle. Hit right away, but pulls forward for another 3.
Jackson Bartels. Clock ticking, spike 6:37. I don't think either team looking to call any timeouts. I think Tinora has I don't want to say quit, but they've conceded here a little bit as Liberty continues to pound on the ground. You don't see Tinora taking any timeouts here. Game effort here by Tinora in the first half. I'll say that. They came ready to play.
All right. Tigers with the wing right set. Wide out over here. They're going to give it now off the other side. Running room there off that right tackle side. And
Thomas Moeller again.
Picks up about 4 more. It'll be third down coming. Short yard, couple to go.
Yeah,
fourth down.
Clock getting ready to be under 6 minutes. Thomas didn't play basketball last year. Spent a lot of time in the weight room.
Oh.
And he really physically developed. And boy, you can tell he's got a great looking body on him. His feet, good quickness, and more. And exactly what you said. Excellent vision for the hole and cutback lanes.
Oh, yes. All right, wide out over here to the wide side. Wing left set. Amstutz takes the handoff. Give off the left side. Spins, twists, still on his feet, grinding down. Let me see. That was a
Xander Zeider.
And it is going to be close on the measurement here. And an official's timeout. They are going to bring, you don't see it much anymore, but they're going to bring the chains in to measure this fourth down run.
Well, the last thing Tinora really wants is Liberty Center's offensive line and backs to get a breather.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You give them a 45-second breather, they'll be ready to go here in a snap in a second. Just drive them off the football.
Or they'll bring 10 other kids in. You know?
It almost reminds you of the girls' basketball team.
Yeah.
12 and 13 players. Liberty just so deep on this football team.
Oh, this is close. This is close. And they come up.
How about go the other way, buddy?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Little home spot. 5:32 left, and Tinora takes over. They look beat. Got the heads down. The Daubers are down, and I think they gave such great effort in the first half, but you can really tell physically Liberty has really put it to them here in the second half.
All right. Tigers on defense continue to go with the next man up, second unit. Grady Miller remains in the game as a defensive back. All right, motion this way. And now we're going to get a flag. Nope, okay.
72 on the end move down there.
Kind of feels like Tenora's a little fatigued. Daubers are down, and they're walking slowly back to the huddle. I think they feel got a little gassed here in the second half. Liberty really came out to play right from the kickoff.
I'm sorry. My 12-year-old came out here.
Yeah. All right, give kind of a kick outside, and we hit by Weaver.
Look at that. How many white shirts?
And you're getting some guys down on the depth chart getting a chance to get some snaps, but as Mark alluded to earlier, I mean, some of these guys that are number 2 on the depth chart are starters for many teams around here. So you're subbing a lot of good-looking players in here. Good to see number 54, Landon Smith, get a few snaps. I made a mistake earlier. Noah Jensen had some snaps. I I miscalled that. I thought that was Landon Smith, but Noah Jensen had some nice plays there a couple drives ago as well.
Noah Hammontree in the lineup as
No.
DB.
No Noah Hammontree.
Oh, there isn't?
I don't know.
Ah.
There,
All right, to mix up in the backfield and
Noah
throw
Hammontree checked in a little bit, I think, at one of those sniper positions, number 15.
Oh, I didn't see him.
I was calling for Aiden Hammontree. I'd missed him from last year.
Yeah.
But we got his brother Noah in the game.
Oh, yeah, there he is. I'm sorry.
All right, timeout on the field. 4.5 minutes left. 35-14. Tigers after falling behind 14-8 on some.
Hey, while we got a break in the action, let's thank our sponsors because, ladies and gentlemen, without these people, these broadcasts simply cannot happen. KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, STN Design, Affinity IT Group, 3Chord, Davis Farms, Swanton Welding, Pam and Dick Leatherman, Pisanello's Pizza, and the Gerald Grain Center. And again, thank you guys very much for your support. And again, without these people, the broadcast simply do not happen. Yeah, and I do, we say that we're sincerely grateful for that. And folks, we are, we love doing this, but it's not free. And our advertising in-game sponsors make these broadcasts possible. So thank you.
Okay. 3rd and 10 for Tinora from their own 32-yard line. Out of the gun. Quick drop, looks, now throws the home run ball again, and that's going to be overthrown. Coverage.
Caden Sonnenberg, number 22, just man-to-man.
Tank.
Caden coming off the bench. That's a first-team depth chart guy for Tinora running down the field. Great coverage by Liberty Center. That was the thing that really struck me about the last couple drives of the first half, this entire second half. Liberty's secondary and some of those coverage calls by Matt Bryan really made a huge difference. And Tinora got nothing going. I haven't seen any yardage stats, but boy, Spike, they've had a rough second half.
Oh, I don't know that they've got more than 30 yards of offense.
Liberty's defense just batting down the hatches.
All right, back to punt. Short, high spinner. That's going to be caught right there at the 35-yard line. Fair catch.
Thomas Moeller on the catch.
And so, 4:13 left in the ball game. Liberty Center, remember, they trailed 14-8 at one point. 4 straight touchdowns by the Tigers. One, a very critical, like Scott mentioned. We were kicking off to them. We went down on a 6.5 minute drive, 70 yards worth. Went ahead 15-14, and in the second half, it's been all Liberty Center.
Exactly what we thought this team could be. Dominant up front in the running game, and defensively, the adjustments were made. Matt Bryan and Casey Moeller hunkered down at halftime and just shut down the Tinora passing game.
All right, now the Tigers. Fumble on the snap, and I wonder, was that perhaps Mason?
It looks like Amstutz.
Amstutz, okay.
Hey, just a couple of quick scores. Archbold leading Genoa 24-14 late in the fourth. Evergreen leads Elmwood 14-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
And PH over Hicksville 39-0 right now.
Wow.
Patrick Henry is a team to watch in this league.
And Nash Meyer's a real deal.
All right, Tigers have a man in the slot. White out over here. Give straight ahead. And pickup of about 6 on the play.
Okay, Smith is in the game now.
Mason Smith, number 10.
Mason Smith, the quarterback.
And guys, there's still a quarterback battle going on. Obviously Grady, basically guided us to a victory tonight. But talking to the coaches, this is a competitive football team. And Mason Smith and Landon Amstutz are very much a part of the conversation and keeping this group very competitive. That quarterback room's got a lot of guys in it, and they're all competing to keep this job week to week.
All right, Smith under center. Give to the first back and pounds forward for
Tyler
a couple
Roars.
of tough yards.
Tyler Roars, I like him a lot. Tyler showed some speed in the scrimmage season. He's got a burst. He gets to the open field, and
they,
he can go
by
the
the way,
distance.
By the way, they love Mason Smith's pure talent.
Yeah,
he's still raw. He needs seasoning, but they love his raw talent.
Well, he throws a nice football, and his ball handling on the faking and all those different things. Mason Smith.
Some other NWAL scores. Delta trails Ayersville 27-7 in the fourth.
Wow.
Swanton trails Paulding 24-0 late in the fourth. And Wauseon defeated Fairview 49-12.
Uh-oh, that ball was touched.
Bobbled punt. That ball banging around. Finally, Tinora falls on it after a melee inside the 20-yard line.
Max Walker's punting tonight.
Man.
Oh, you kidding me? Like, that ball was up there, it seemed like 35 minutes. That poor receiver had no shot. And here comes the oncoming coverage teams. And you saw him backing up going, I don't know what to do, man. Get my teeth knocked out or get away from this ball.
Yeah, 41-yard punt, so another excellent job.
Really like what our special teams did here after the first quarter. A lot of good things. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, Spike, 35-14, and Tinora would like to get another score before this thing's over.
All right, they send two wideouts to the far side. Now they're going to give it to the running back coming off the wing. And pickup of about 5 on the play. Not sure what, at this point it's academic. The Rams kind of got away. They never really established that short to mid-range passing game. It was home run ball or sling it out to the sideline. And I'm a little curious as to why maybe they didn't try to manipulate that a little more.
Yeah, Liberty Center did some really good things at the back end, middle to late second quarter. And I am not sure that Dominic Graziani has completed more than 2 passes since the first quarter.
Right. Give off that left side. It'll be a gain of about 3 more on the play.
All right, boys, a minute 21 to go. We've got a KK Collision post game to start talking about. You've got a defensive player of the game, you got an offensive player of the game, and then you have a player of the game. And Mark, I believe the player of the game gets a pizza.
Yes, they do, from Pisanello's Pizza.
Just so you know, I have my guys lined up, so I'm suggesting you boys better get busy. You got about 57 seconds, Spike, to come up with some answers, because I've got mine.
All right, out of the gun, give straight ahead. He'll plow forward over the top of a tackler, and Tinora will pick up a first down.
And here comes the freshman unit getting in a couple plays.
All right.
Here. Looks like there's about 14 of them, so we'll try to sort that out.
I'm not sure this is quite the freshman unit yet on the field, but they might be gathering. I'm not sure.
All right, 30 seconds left. This could be the last play of the ball game. Tinora comes out with a spread formation, single setback. They're going to give it straight up the middle, and negligible running room there. The Tigers floated the ball,
do it.
knock him down.
That'll do it.
And the clock now at 10 seconds. Tinora not showing that they're in any hurry to launch another play. 35-14 now. Tinora starting to come off. And that's the final score. Liberty Center with one heck of a second half. Add the last 5 minutes of the second quarter in there. And I tell you what, Liberty Center scores 35 points in a matter of 28 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they did it exactly in the exact style and fashion that we kind of thought this team would do it. Dominant offensive and defensive line play, and that's a huge strength for Liberty Center, and they really leaned on it. They leaned into it tonight. Running backs ran really hard. All of them tonight that got the ball looked fantastic and fresh and strong. You guys talked about conditioning. I think that was a big factor. But man, oh man, I tell you, I was really impressed from quarter one to the end of the game how well our defensive backfield and our defensive schematics kind of tightened up and shut Tenora's passing game. I mean, shut it down. We were able to get some key pressures, a couple key sacks. Landon Bachman was a big factor in that first half late, and the rest of it was a lot of really good coverage and a lot of nice adjustments by the staff and players, Spike.
Yes, absolutely. They flipped the switch and everything clicked. The light bulb came on, the proverbial light bulb, and all of a sudden the game got slower. The players got faster. The players were more relentless, and final score indicates the Tigers winning out big, 35-14.
All right, well, let's get into the KK Collision post-game show, where we're going to pick an offensive and a defensive player of the game, and then an overall player of the game, and that player of the game will get a certificate for a large pizza from Pisanello's Pizza right uptown. This, again, is brought to you and sponsored by KK Collision, just north of Liberty Center on State Route 109.
We'll have some stats here momentarily. My son Bergstrom is my runner tonight. But, guys, second half was Liberty Center football in dominant fashion. Let's first go to our offensive players of the game. I have mine, but Spike, do you have any nominations tonight?
I'm going to take the cowardly way out, and I'm going to say the offensive line.
I love
because they were there play after play after play. Everybody focuses on Bakke. I get that. And everybody else, I mean, it was precision. This was... They consistently grinded out yardage the whole game. They just had a few flops in the middle of the first half. But I'm going to go offensive line.
Mark?
I think I'm going to go Colton Cruz, and Colton Chambers. And I'll tell you, one of the things that he did, he blocked, he sealed the edge on a lot of Colton Cruz runs.
Yes, I like
Trenton
that.
Cruz runs. He made some great plays. He ran some great routes.
He did.
He even played one play with no shoe,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think he was kind of the guy that did the yeoman's work. He made a couple really good catches.
He did.
He had that opening play for the touchdown. I'm going to go Colton Cruz.
I can't argue with either one. That's why I like talking about these things. You can get a lot of credit to a lot of people that deserve it.
I'm sorry,
Colton
Chambers.
I felt like Trenton Cruz's
digger.
I felt like Trenton Cruz's the trap, the touchdown trap, put the nail in the coffin. But to Spike's point, that was a lot of good offensive line blocking, especially the two guards and center. So I would lean towards a unit pizza, and I would actually throw in a couple. Maybe we can all throw. I'll throw it in.
This is the offensive player of the game, so
I think
don't get ahead of yourself.
Can we go offensive line for the player of the game, and we'll kind of throw another extra pizza in for these guys? I'm for that.
Yeah.
Mark, are you good for that?
You're going to need more than one extra pizza. Okay? Have you seen Bakke eat?
Oh, so should we go with Colton Chambers?
I don't know. You got you. Boy, I'm torn here, guys, because Walker.
Well, he will return later in our post game.
He is like, he's Walker, Texas Ranger. Don't nobody mess you.
that.
You'll get a scissor kick to the head.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go with Colton Chambers as well. The more I think about Colton Chambers, big catches, big blocks. He's our offensive player of the game. Let's switch to our defensive player of the game. I think there's a lot of interesting candidates. I've got one that I thought really played a phenomenal second half. I thought it was wonderful. Number 40, Zach Weaver. He made a lot of key plays. Got Tinora in some third and long, strung out plays, technically on point. My defensive player of the game is Zach Weaver. Any other thoughts, guys?
I'm going to go defensive player of the game, and a huge transition, getting it fixed, was Cam Colley.
Yes.
Yeah. In the first half, he struggled a couple times, but he learned from it, and he was so spot on his defensive coverage downfield.
Agreed.
I would go with
an interception, big pick in the first half.
Yeah.
Can I go with Coach Bryant and the defensive adjustments he made?
That's a good one.
I'll tell you what, boy.
I'll tell you though. No, Spike, you make a great comment there. Cam Colley got beat a couple times
early,
didn't get down. You made a comment how he got his head turned around in the second half. Now, he not his mentality. Literally, he had his head turned to the ball.
I made that comment. Don't you give him credit for that?
You guys
don't you dare.
People out there know I don't really listen. Come on. Yeah. the SAP, couldn't keep up with Spike, so the closed caption.
Well, I can't argue. Cam Colley, I think you're right, guys. I think I saw great growth through Cam tonight. Great call, Spike. The KK collision, defensive player of the game goes to number 7, Cam Colley. Now, the player of the game. And I got my guy. I was campaigning very early on for this guy. But, Mark, who was your player of the game? I know who my guy is.
Well,
who's your guy?
You got to go with Walker.
No doubt.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
No doubt about it. He had a big second half. Big second half.
Well, and you talked about his kicking is almost an offensive weapon. I mean, you just go, we're good. We're just going to put the punter in.
Kicking him deep, punting him deep.
Out of the end zone.
Not returnable.
I love Spike's call when it goes, 2 yards deep and it's 17 yards deep in the end zone, according to Spike. Spike, the end zone's not that deep. Not 35
Canadian
yards.
Football.
But just that X factor when you go, okay, we didn't have a good series of downs, we'll punt. No, we're all right. We'll punt. It's not you don't want to, but when you got that weapon and then the kickoffs, and then he blocks a punt.
Huge.
Come on.
Game changer. Spike, who's going to get the pizza? The pizza goes to the player of the game.
I would say in this particular case, I love the linebacker play as a unit.
Yeah.
Waylon Rentz filled holes. The Cruz boys filled holes. But then you go the defensive line, they stack them up, and then the linebackers knock them down, alluding to one of your earlier comments. This is a tough call. The defensive line all night long bottled up Tinora to probably 25 yards rushing until the final 5 minutes of the game.
We may just have to buy Baki a pity pizza because he's getting tripled and quadruple teamed, and then he still gets sacks.
Yeah.
But who do you got?
I agree. I like Spike's unit calls. I think that you have to give the defense a ton of credit. And I think you have to give Matt Bryan and that defensive staff enormous credit. But my player of the game, and it was decided early on the block punt and his punts and kickoffs. And I think last year he won a game with his leg. It's number 50. Max Walker is our KK collision player of the game. And a huge victory for Liberty Center. Max will get a pizza from Pizzanello's. But fantastic job by Max Walker.
Yep, I agree.
And before this is over, though, I am going to win the battle, and there will be
wait, you got it. You got Cam Colley.
So we'll be coming to 3 to 5, 6 players.
Yeah, you know how many pizzas that is, Spike. So.
You and I will front the money.
Right,
we got to feed Baki. Very good.
Yeah,
excellent job.
The foundation doesn't have that much money yet.
No.
All right. Well, there's your KK Collision post-game show with your offense and defensive players, and then the player of the game. And Mr. Walker will receive a large pizza from Pizzanello's. We'll get him a certificate. And congratulations on that'll be a trivia question someday. Who was the inaugural player of the game?
Yeah,
so
they'll be talking about that around campfires.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow as Tinora travels to Liberty Center for JV game. We'll have that broadcast at 10 a.m. And then Tuesday, we'll have soccer and girls volleyball start their home run with freshman JV and varsity volleyball with Mrs. Karen Savage. And we've got a mystery guest showing up for volleyball that was the coach at Sylvania Schools, head coach, and a well-known name in Liberty Center athletics. We'll leave that one for a surprise.
Couple quick stats before we close this out, Mark. Total yards, Liberty Center 313 to Tenora's 171. Very impressive. Liberty Center 18 first downs, Tinora 10. Liberty Center really took control of this game on the ground. Rushed for 220 yards on 49 carries. That's almost 5 yards a pop. So Liberty Center on the ground. Great job defensively in the second half.
Yep.
Big victory on the road. Liberty Center 1-0.
Absolutely. Tigers made plays. They adjusted. That was big. I love to see that. All the adjustments that were made in the game itself. The season is a whole bunch of one-game seasons, and tonight Liberty Center won a big one for several reasons.
Well, and we'll be back next week from Buckemeyer Stadium in Napoleon as our Tigers will travel to the Napoleon to take on the Napoleon Wildcats, which took a difficult loss to the Defiance Bulldogs, a very good football team. And so they'll be looking to rebound after that.
And I think Napoleon will be all in for the Liberty Center game.
Napoleon
all in.
led 7-0 at half.
Yep.
4 second-half turnovers, and they got blitzed.
So, all right, we'll get out of here. Spike, take us home.
All right, so on that note, Liberty Center piles it on in the second half. They come together as a unit. They win it going away, 35-14 over the Tinora Rams. Great job tonight with Digger Barnes on the camera. The captain with his expertise and his fritternish and all the other adjectives. Scott Barrett on the color, and what a color man he is, if you know what I mean. And, of course, Spiker here, while signing out, it's good night, everybody, and good Tiger Sports.